fucking pitch black in this room in a second. I forgot, I didn't even do any of the shit I'm supposed to do in real life. Like, listen, I've got fans going, and fucking, what? Touching the seat? Dude, Raturday? What the fuck? Thank you guys so much. Wow. Oh shit, my mic's not muted. Hi, welcome to Raturday night. Oh my god, you guys. Wow. First of all, thank you for the raid, Paula Brady. Paula, if you don't know, does like F1 stuff with my girlfriend mainly, which I think is part of the reason she was so nice as to raid, because like Hoot's gonna be here. This is gonna be a Hoot episode, which is really exciting for me, because I get to lie down. We're gonna do Raturday Night Cage Match, which is like a fucking... how many? I think we have 7. 7 will enter, 1 will leave. Thank you, Chris, for the sub. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. I want to talk about... Okay, so this is the thing. I think I've heard a lot of people saying this. Morbius, for about 10 seconds, was a funny meme again, right? Holy shit, did you... Okay, so, like, let me give some background on this story. There's this movie, it's called Morbius, it's got Jared Leto in it. You know, I mean, other stuff about it exists, right? Like, I'm not gonna try and pretend that it's just... You know, it's a movie. But the most annoying people on the internet for 1 second were like, it's Morbin time, and then they decided they've the internet, and I love this so much, the internet has gaslit Sony Pictures into releasing Morbius for a second time, and no one fucking saw it. Do you see this? Morbius made $85,000 at the box office today. $85,000. Fuck. I feel like you could make $85,000 working at fucking Hertz Rent-A-Car for a year and a half. Jesus Christ. $85,000. And it's Jared Leto. I picture like this really popular guy, or maybe not. No, he's not popular at all. He's this unpopular guy, and all of a sudden, everyone around him is talking about like, oh, dude, I can't wait for Morbius's birthday party. I can't wait. Dude, I'm so excited about the big surprise that we all have planned for Morbius. And there's like 500 people standing around him being like, dude, we have such a huge surprise for you. You're gonna be so surprised by this. And like the day of the birthday comes, and like he thinks it's a surprise party. He walks into his apartment, and his roommate like hands him a $45 Arby's gift card and nothing else. That's how... If I was Morbius, those would be my feelings right now. $85,000. I mean, fuck, you might as well have just pissed in my eye. Not, you know, and I'm not. Listen, I know I'm petit bourgeois. I know that having a gender makes me evil. But, whatever. Fuck you guys. Anyway, we're gonna start off... Well, shit. First, I gotta start off with... Let's turn off studio mode. We have to deactivate lower third, reactivate charity. Okay, so this time we're plugging mermaids. Every week on this show for the second season, we've had our charity command in chat, and it'll redirect to a different charity every episode. And you can check that out. And if you want to check out the old charities, I think I made a page for them. No idea where you would find it though, so I'll figure something out about that. But this week it's mermaids. It's Pride. Everybody knows mermaids, and honestly, like, it's been a week where I've very much felt the sort of, I just sort of think right now would be a good moment to be nice to some trans kids, you know what I mean? So we've got mermaids this week. Everyone knows about mermaids. If you don't want to donate to mermaids, fuck it, like, do more research than I did. Go find a GoFundMe. We're always retweeting them in the community, in our little community. But yeah, so type ! Charity in chat. It'll show you a link. The thing that I want to say is that we're not affiliated with these charities. If you donate to us through Ko-fi, PayPal, Streamlabs, that kind of thing, anything with the Maddie Girl Meet or fucking Mice Media or Raturday, Studio Raturday branding, that we do keep that, just so you know. So if you want to donate, use the link that I just put in chat, or type ! Charity to bring the link up. If you want to donate to us, we also appreciate that. Although my Streamlabs is broken, so I won't notice today. Also, well, I'm not going to notice anything today. There's like 8 people waiting in a VC for us. I want to start with a friend of mine, Amber, has put together a music video, and there are some details about it which I can't remember right now, but that's where I want to start. So we're going to start with that. Everyone, fucking... God, what movie is that from? Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your... Apollo 13, right? Like, that's crazy. Anyway, here's Glitch Sister.
今花束が贈られております。対する日本のストロング小林であります。さあこの優勝決定戦は60分3本勝負で行われます。果たして日本の小林かモンスターロシボフか。真ん中には優勝トロフィーがしっかりと腰を据えております。
「
So I can only assume that's a prediction from the future. Someone's pointed a camera at a mirror for too long, and we've found this video. Thank you, Glitch Sister. Thank you, Andre the Giant, for blessing this episode. Papa Andre bless. Yeah, there's one more thing we gotta get to before we get to the wrestling, and then we're gonna go to this wrestling, to the ring. Ding ding! But before we do that, we have a presentation from a very special pair of friends. Matt Stone, creator of South Park, and... Oh, I've forgotten his name. Fuck me. Alright, I'll be right back.
And now, message from a weirdly calm Kurt Angle.
Welcome to Raturday Night Cage Match. I'm Kurt Angle, and I'm here to explain to you how the game works. Basically, a bunch of homies go into this cage, and the last one to leave is the winner. The only caveat, you gotta talk about wrestling or other stuff. You can talk about whatever, but most people are gonna be talking about wrestling. Wow, pretty cool. That's all from me, Kurt Angle. Have a Merry Christmas.
So that's how it works. Welcome to Raturday Night Cage Match. Oh wait, hold on, where's the button? No. There we go. Welcome to Raturday Night Cage Match. I need to unmute Def. Welcome to Raturday Night Cage Match for the third time.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey there. Sorry, you caught me reading this illustrated of a pro wrestler.
Can we get a close-up on Pro Wrestler, please?
Oh, yeah. Where's the camera? Okay. That's a hard.
Yo.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
John
the hard
Monkey?
cam's like... yeah, Amber, the hard cam's like right in front of you there. So,
Thanks.
look straight.
I'm not used to live shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's the
fair.
thing. Yeah. So, hey, what's up in the world of wrestling? This was my only job tonight, is to push this ball, and I'm doing a terrible job of it.
That's fine. All right. So, just recently, in the world of wrestling, AEW had their pay-per-view known as the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, and a lot of things happened. Especially on the Dynamite following, where MJF dropped a pipe bomb of his own. So instead of starting with a Double or Nothing like people normally would, I want to start with that and start getting people's reactions on that. Like, primarily, is it a work, is it a shoot, or is it a worked shoot? Starting from the top.
Well, we gotta know something. You don't work a shoot. That's all I gotta say.
What's that?
Fuck, you sure don't, huh?
Yeah, you really can't. It's, like, not possible.
Fucking pipe bomb?
Yeah. So essentially, it's been rumored lately that talks between MJF and Tony Khan have kind of devolved. Primarily, the issue would be that MJF feels as though he's not being paid enough, despite the fact that he's been with AEW for so long and has consistently been great in the ring as well as on the microphone. And has constantly been a big draw for the company, which is absolutely true. The MJF is like he gets genuine heel heat. People fucking hate this guy.
Oh yeah, he's like intense.
Yeah, he's probably I would argue he's probably the best heel in professional wrestling right now, just because of his mic work and how convincingly he plays a heel.
He's so good.
MJF is a god.
He says some like vicious shit.
Oh, absolutely. He goes, like, he's not like the Acclaimed where they have, like, little pot shots or whatever. He's definitely, like, he goes there and then some. Like, he comes across as, like, Brian Pillman style heel work. But...
I was saying just that.
There's like what was that one incident where, because like he does this shit like outside of the ring as well. There's like one where like he was like having his photo taken with like some kids and he flipped off like the 10-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when like the dad got on Twitter and complained, he just said "fuck them kids." Like that's the kind of
Yeah.
character we're dealing with here.
Okay, my
Yeah.
favorite thing about MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, is that he has his parents in on the work.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
come to the shows with we're MJF's parents and we hate him signs.
Yeah.
They cut promos talking with like childhood photos talking about how much they hate their son.
Yeah, straight up. It's
We've all
like a
been there.
really good character work. But getting back on topic though, the specific pipe bomb that MJF dropped was about the rumors that talks had devolved between MJF and the promoter at AEW, Tony Khan. Primarily, like I said, that MJF isn't being paid enough, but because he's in the middle of the contract, he isn't really eligible for contract renegotiations. So it seems as though the talk on the dirt sheets is that like MJF could potentially leave AEW for WWE or TNA Impact, or something like that, or he could just leave, perhaps have a run in New Japan, because I'm sure he would do very well there. But as things seem to be at the moment, it seems as though like it's really for me hard to tell if that whole storyline is a work, much like Brian Pillman's whole thing about his leg or whatever, and then him like doing a whole bunch of crazy shit during his run through the WWE. It was hard to determine whether it was a work or a shoot, and the dirt sheets didn't even know. So in this instance, is this one of those kinds of things where it's like even the dirt sheets can't tell if this is a work or a shoot?
Well, when you mean the dirt sheets, you mean like the rest of us Twitch streamers, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm friends with MJF. I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, you probably are because you were a journalist, and then it's like, what was it? Not Wrestling Observer, but the other one, the newer guy that goes on Quizlemania. Sean Ross Sapp, yeah. He's alright. But like he was like, oh, I'm a friend of MGF's. He has the plane ticket. It's not a work. It's all real. And then Dave Meltzer, who's been working for like fucking 80 years in wrestling, just like writing down notes and being like, oh yeah, this is what I thought. He was like, we have no confirmation.
Yeah. It really does seem like it's hard to determine, especially since now that the dirt sheets are being read by regular marks like us, it's hard to tell if the dirt sheets are even in on it, For those who don't know, the dirt sheets would be insider newsletters about pro wrestling. So like these are people who are smart to the business. They know what the business is, and they know that it's not only that wrestling is predetermined and choreographed, but they also know that a lot of the storylines behind the scenes can be in some part inspired by real situations. And this is one of those instances where I'm wondering if the dirt sheets are starting to get involved in storylines now, because the business has been cracked so wide open, and with kayfabe being so thoroughly killed for years now, I feel like it was only a matter of time until the dirt sheets started getting involved. But I'm wondering if this is the case, or if that one journalist that you mentioned was quote unquote friends with MJF is just like in on it. Or even if it's not even at that level where it's just like they're just saying it because they want to get involved even though they aren't. It's hard to say, especially considering a lot of the people who write dirt sheets are very, very super fans of professional wrestling. So a lot of the time, like that fandom can get ahead of you. But that all being said, I honestly think it's all a work. I don't think MJF and Tony Khan are in a disagreement with each other about pay. I think MJF understands that he's in the middle of a contract, and when it's up for renegotiation, he's going to get a shitload of money.
I mean, the thing is,
he's a huge draw. So,
I mean, that's the thing. Like, if, like, he was like the thing with MJF was actually announced. It was planned. Like, he was allowed to have this segment, on, was it Dynamite?
It was Dynamite, yeah.
Yeah.
The Dynamite after Double or Nothing.
Yeah, so he was allowed to have that segment, and he just kept talking and talking, and just like, it just got increasingly passionate, and that's what makes MJF's mic work so good. It's just that he has that fire in him, and like he can sell stuff so well. So like, and
part of me wants to wonder if, like, admittedly not knowing very much about the contemporary situation or anything, part of me wants to wonder if maybe, like, it was a work, but, like, he maybe said more than, like, he let on that he would just in the moment. But also part of me thinks, like for as good as MJF stuff is, he's also, like, it also feels very calculated. Like, he plans out what he's going to do, I feel like, in like quite a lot of detail, so I doubt he would let himself, like, fly off the handle like that.
Yeah, no, MJF has been at this for a significant amount of time now. I feel like
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he has a very deep understanding not only of the business but also of fan reaction. Like there's a lot of old heads who are all like, "Oh, you kayfabe." Oh, blah, blah. Oh, thank you, Gabriel, for your fucking useless comment on the matter. I'm gonna fucking get rid of you because you're a fucking bot, piece of shit. First one eliminated over the top rope. Gabriel DPT ain't got a chance. Anyway,
what a fucking jobber.
Honestly,
that was the biggest squash I've ever seen. But
I'm just picturing like something out of one of like the fucking Germa Rumbles. Like a character gets in and just gets immediately punted back out like 8 seconds later.
It was funny.
I was looking at all the Sonas through Twitch chat. But Twitch just gave me a Jurassic Park commercial. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that I get those a lot.
But yeah, like MJF is. They were a bot. They were just.
There was a spam bot in the chat being
Gabriel.
like, "Hey, do you want to get more viewers on Twitch.tv?"
No, but I do want to get. Did you save it?
I wouldn't mind.
No, I didn't save it because you go there and then it's a phishing scam. Anyway,
I'm gonna go fishing for some fucking.
What they do is they cast their line into the water, and then you take the bait, and then they rip you out of the water, and then you die because you need to breathe in water. Anyway.
And then when you go, "Help me, I'm drowning," they're like, "I'm gonna specify your credit card information."
By the way, welcome Jimmy Cato into the ring.
Jimmerino. It's so easy.
You okay?
So,
Jimmy, Sonny Jimmy lad, me boy, you okay?
I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot about Jimmy, but this is the first time we're meeting, and so far it's been just straight laughter the whole time. So
I have no idea who I'm talking to right now, but this is a hell of a first impression.
Yeah, you know how to make an entrance.
It's the one with the human PNG.
Oh yes, okay.
I'm not
the actual human, just the picture.
You think I'm human?
Hey, no, having a human Sona is perfectly acceptable.
There's just a PNG walking around in the world like a doom sprite.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I'm not that big of a deal to have, an animal persona character drawn up for me and the money. So
that's fair.
Oh, I think I got a character just for you.
Chat.
Can you get something?
Yeah.
Chat, can we get
God.
a Jimmy? What character do you want? You would be an adorable Pikachu. Is the thing.
Oh.
Chat. I know there's a lot of people here right now. Chat, please draw Jimmy as a Pikachu. I'm gonna fucking yell at Moel and get.
The thing is
fucking
that
her
I'm more of a
followers.
Ryolu person. Also,
All right, so
Riolu?
yes,
Riolu.
Ryolu. Also, my phone's going off, so it's so stupid. It's like yesterday I was all free, left alone, nobody wanted to bother me, and then the day that I wanted to have something planned and actually hang out with people, everybody wants to drag me away.
I know, right? You've become famous off the back of Raturday Night, and it's not even.
No, it's IRL bullshit stuff as per
Now-
usual.
Fuck
Now-
bullshit.
My luck.
I'm gonna interrupt real quick to say thank you very much, Aposis. I'm so sorry. Episis for the raid of 7, really appreciate it. And welcome, the first time chatters, I appreciate it. Welcome to Raturday Night Cage Match. This is a special episode of Raturday Night hosted by myself, with Ratty in the control room doing her finger painting as she usually does.
I'm not finger painting. I'm doing real
Yeah.
wrestling shit, making sure everyone knows what your power levels are. What the fuck?
That's fair. Yeah. So Raturday Night Cage Match is basically we talk about wrestling or we don't, and then the last one to leave the ring wins. So welcome to that. I hope you guys have a fantastic time here. But we are in the middle of talking about MJF. And the angle between him and Tony Khan currently happening right now. I think we've kind of gone the distance with that. Kind of, we've figured that like MJF is a really smart wrestler. Like, in my opinion, he probably knows the line between kayfabe and not. Seemingly more than anybody else does right now, considering his heel work on the mic in the ring. As well as his recent pipe bomb. So,
Right. So
I really
hold on. I
think
need to
that-
stop. I need to stop you. Are they now sending pipe bombs to each other? Is that
Okay,
what
no.
I'm hearing?
That
so
was
like
my
a
guess.
pipe bomb is like a pipe bomb is essentially it's coined after CM Punk's like promo ages ago, years ago. over
It's
a
basically a promo that is framed as a wrestler going like off the deep end and like just like ripping everything
Okay.
within reach. And
Well,
you want,
I
like,
think
the-
you're forgetting where
management
original
and such.
originally it comes from. It was a regional thing in Waco, Texas, by Billy Sims.
Oh, okay, that
Okay.
goes deeper than I expected. But
Yeah.
so-
Like I knew about the CM Punk one, but I was always like, why'd they call it a pipe bomb? Is it just a fun name?
I always thought it was a pipe bomb because CM Punk had that kind of like punk.
No, it just comes from Waco.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. But yeah, a pipe bomb is essentially where a wrestler technically goes off script or seems to have gone off script and breaks down the fourth wall multiple times.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we were referring to when we're talking about a pipe bomb.
So
But-
I'm sort of one of those about like VTubing then.
Yeah.
All right, sick,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I
you-
break kayfabe all the time. You think I'm a real person? I'm not. There's no such thing as cartoon girls.
I'm trying to imagine like some big name VTuber pulling a pipe bomb and just like telling like fucking like Maury Calliope or someone to go fuck herself.
Yeah.
That
I
would be
mean, wasn't there
insane.
that? Okay, so is it okay if I
want-
derail this into VTuber shit for 1 second?
We absolutely can.
Okay. Do you remember that one? There was that big controversy that blew up about this one girl VTuber leaving her Discord on and like getting like a flirty message from a dude VTuber. Does that count as a pipe bomb or like what would that be?
No, it's like a pipe bomb. It's like
Pipe bomb is intentional.
it's like a rant essentially. It's framed as
Okay.
like a just like
it's kind of
like a
like
wrestler
fuck
going
you,
off the rails,
fuck
just being
you,
like
you're okay, and fuck
Yeah.
you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
just like
I see, I see.
one more thing.
Yeah. Whereas what you'd be describing there would probably be just breaking kayfabe. Like, it'd be the same thing as throwing a potato, which would be to accidentally actually punch somebody or to completely whip.
I do have a really good example.
Let's hear the really good example.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody. So first of all, or I regret watching this show because like I feel like it sucks now, but I did have a Family Guy phase.
No, yeah, same. Okay, yeah.
So I'm talking about.
Sorry, I have to interrupt.
I'm talking about. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna interrupt to say I'm having that phase right now because fucking YouTube keeps recommending this shit to me, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. You're the one who made Infinite Scroll. I guess I'll continue to look at these videos.
That's like the same shit I'm in with the moment, but with like Top Gear, like old Top Gear clips.
Well, shit, that's not bad though. I would trade Top Gear for old fucking videos.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paula, you were saying, sorry?
Okay, so there was one particular episode where, I think Brian was trying to like mend things was a Quagmire, but like Quagmires always seemed to have like something against Brian, and like when they were sitting down at the dinner table, like Brian kept pressing on and he was just like so fed up with just, okay, so why do you hate me like, why do you hate me? Like, what do you have a problem with? And then Quagmire just listed every single thing that he hated about Brian at that very moment and just kept going until everything was laid on the table.
Yeah,
and I think that's a good example of a pipe bomb.
That's a good example. That or maybe like the one that just came into my mind was like that one episode of The Simpsons where like they try to rebuild Flanders' house and then he just insults every single person in the town.
Oh,
yes, exactly.
God. Can we get a fucking clip of The Simpsons? I have to do that.
Yeah, I got season 1 over there.
I got YouTube. I'll be fine.
Hang on, I'll post. Hang on, I'll put it in the front room. This is like the clip I was talking about.
By the way, thank you, Faith Zero, for the Prime sub. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's so cool. We've had a lot of people like rush in, and it really warms my heart because I love doing these ones because I don't have to do as much work. Yeah, so thank y'all for showing up. It's been wild. Anyway.
Yeah.
Here's Ned Flanders, but muted.
I'm gonna get water while we bootleg this.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it right on Amber's TV there. Then that'll be perfect.
So yeah, while that's going on, I think we've talked MJF's pipe bomb to death though. But moving on, the next topic.
I'm back. Get me on the screen.
But it's Ned's turn.
I'm back.
It's Ned's turn on the TV.
And Ned is in the call.
So moving on towards AEW Double or Nothing. We had a in my opinion, a pretty good pay-per-view from AEW, pretty much matching their previously set expectations, perhaps sliding a little bit under the bar. But the first thing I want to talk about is fucking Hookhausen. How fucking pumped are you for more Hookhausen?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That was a treat. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit more, but knowing that Danhausen has been recovering from an injury, I wouldn't want him falling off the deep end too quickly. So a squash match, I think, was a really good idea. Also, Hook's in-ring work is fucking insane. Like, it's dangerous as hell. I think he fucking what do you call it? There's a specific term for dropping somebody on their head.
Pile driver?
No.
Taking one to the dome?
No, there's like a terminology for if you botch a move.
What is it? CBT?
No. No,
the
there's a
wrestling
specific-
term.
There's a
Yeah.
specific
The one where
for,
your
like,
brain kind
when
of.
you drop somebody on their head unintentionally.
It's called brain damage. Yeah.
Well, whatever. Anyways, so Hook, I think, gave a bit of a botched belly to belly body slam to one of the other wrestlers. I couldn't remember who they were going up against because it was such a quick match.
Oh, I got the term, by the way.
Oh yeah, he
It's a head
fights
drop.
like a young Minoru Suzuki. It's very hard style.
Yeah, and I really do personally appreciate that kind of thing because in a world where, you know, everybody knows about kayfabe, having that like hard style, having that stiff style wrestling, it is more dangerous to other wrestlers, but it is also way more convincing to the audience. And
as those younger wrestlers get older, they get a lot safer with those more dangerous moves. So it's like, oh, this is a smooth swing back instead of like bam.
Yeah, but it still gives the impression that, like, holy shit, I am watching a human being inflict violence on another human being.
Exactly, yeah.
Can I just point out for 1 second that I found another pipe bomb from The Simpsons? This one is Frank Grimes tearing into Homer Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yes. Grimes is yes.
Yeah.
If you lived in any other country in the world, you'd have starved to death long ago. He's got you there, Dad.
Excellent.
Such a good episode.
I've made it too much about The Simpsons now. Keep talking. It's just on in the background.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like trying to look up like what the name for this fucking botch is, because
It's a head drop. I got it.
No, it's something else. Like there's a specific terminology.
Here's
It's
what
a
we can.
concussion, I think.
We can do this. You continue to research your shit, and then we'll go around the room and sort of everyone introduce themselves.
Okay.
Real quick, like therapy. I'll go in reverse alphabetical order. Steb, would you like to introduce yourself?
I didn't realize that made me first. Hi. My name's Lexi, or also Steb, whichever works for you. I do writing, I do speed running occasionally, and as far as wrestling goes, I'm in a weird position here because I have like more wrestling knowledge than like most of my friends, but like it's the kind of wrestling knowledge that is only good when talking to people who are not into wrestling. I know about like the screw job, and I know about Mankind getting thrown off the cage. That is like the things I can tell people about and make them go, oh shit, wrestling sounds cool. But I like do not follow the contemporary show because it is always on at like shite o'clock in the morning.
You're like sort of the Tale of Two Cities kind of thing. You're the middle of the Venn diagram. You're the spy. You know what I mean?
You're the silly.
Exactly.
Let's go with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Totally.
I am the spy.
Can we go with Paula next?
Oh shit. Hello, I'm Paula Brady. I do a whole shit ton of sim racing. But primarily I do like open wheel and F1, and also GT racing in Assetto Corsa Competizione. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Paula Brady. And yeah, I'm primarily a sim racer. I go through life. I do donkey stuff. And my affinity with wrestling is I do quite watch a lot of wrestling through YouTube. That's primarily where my knowledge is. But I have attended one WWE house show before, and I've also been watching AEW on and off and following a few of my favorite wrestlers. And right now, my favorite wrestler right now is Ruby Soho. Awesome gal. And
I think that's the second time someone mentioned in the pre-show Ruby Soho, and we were talking about that for a while, and they were like, no, I'll save it for the show. So I'm glad more than one person is excited about that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me look at the. Everyone, do your ABCs backwards. Don't. Jimmy, do you want to? Is Jimmy still away? AFK? Okay,
I believe
that's
so.
fine. Jane, that means you're up.
All right, my name is Jane. I am Armchair Merc on Twitter and Twitch. I am a tactical and space game streamer mostly. I do games like Arma 4, Squad, Star System, things like that. And my interest in wrestling is, oh my god, I've been into it for many years. Like a lot of my friend circle, they got me into it, and I just eat that up. I am my favorite wrestler right now. Like from a major promotion, I'm really into Chris Statlander's current, like the way she's going with things. She cuts a mean promo lately. But Kid Bandit, that's someone to follow.
Okay, I think, well, do we skip me? Does everyone here know me? My name's Rachel. I'm, I have problems. Fingers.
Hey there, name is Fingers. You could also call me Finn for short. I use she, her, they, them pronouns. I'm a novice artist. I don't have any plans to do anything professionally, but I might consider streaming in the future. I'm an on and off again wrestling fan, currently in an off phase. It's just been like too much to keep up with, but I am very, very much interested in learning more about AEW and all the current goings-ons there.
There we go. I got that command working, so if you're a mod, do that. Thank you. Yeah, hell yeah. So you said you're in an off phase? Or am I getting it backwards?
Yeah, currently not doing a good job keeping up with anything just because it's... ever since I moved, I just haven't had cable, so it's like hard to keep up with TV stuff, and then each thing has its own streaming service. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That leads us over to Baff, who's a regular on this stream, which is always nice to have around.
They're BRB.
Oh, whoops, okay. Then that's just you, Amber.
Oh, hey, I'm Amber. You can call me Glitch Sister. I'm a video DJ, and I do a bunch of stuff. And can we get the poster up?
I was getting the poster. There we go.
Thank you. And play my fucking music. Play my fucking music. Play my fucking music.
Which music?
I sent you my music. Play my fucking music.
MIDI, Black Eyed Peas, Boom Boom Pow?
Play my fucking music.
Okay. We're playing MIDI, Black Eyed Peas, Boom Boom Pow.
Okay, so listen here. This is Hexen. Yeah. Welcome to Hexen's show. It's the best damn internet show you've ever seen, but it's pre-recorded, so this is a little bit different. It's a whole different thing. Anyways, we got this, and then we got X5 on October. See you there.
Alright, I'm impressed with the level of effort that went into that. That's a lot. Thank you, Amber, for being here. Wow.
Sorry, do you mind if I add some more onto mine? Because I just realized I forgot to mention any of my socials or anything.
Oh yeah, do that. For sure.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at StebMcDreb. I promise I will try to get back into speedrunning stuff eventually, but for now, it's just weird pornography. That's what it is. That's what we have to live with.
What kind of shit do you speedrun?
I've done a couple of I got started doing I've done mostly jank platformers. The closest to a legit speed game I ever did was I did Portal for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But I speedran the video game of Codename Kids Next Door on the PS2.
Oh fuck yes!
I speedran Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. You know, the Buzz Lightyear spin-off
For
cartoon
PS2?
that existed. It was on PC. It was like a PS1 Dreamcast game. But yeah, I speedran that.
Didn't you do that for Korgon?
I did, yeah. I did Portal and I did Buzz Lightyear for Korgon, and then the most recent game I speedran that I've been needing to get back to was I speedran Balhan Wonderworld of all things, which actually has changed as a run dramatically and is actually quite an interesting and fun speed game.
Hell
So
yeah.
take that with a pinch of salt, considering I'm one of the 7 assholes that thinks Balan Wonderworld was a fine game.
No, that rules. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
I find it very funny with that game how like most bad games or bad media have like a the media is good actually movement.
Mm-hmm.
But with Balan Wonderworld, it never even gets that far. It's the game was fine actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like even its most enthusiastic defenders are like, it's fine, shut up. It's not that bad.
Let me check. Jimmy and Baff are both still AFK. All right, Hoot, your time is up.
Yeah.
What was that
Okay.
fucking word you were looking for?
I couldn't fucking find it. I'm so mad. I have seen it referred to. I have seen it referred to numerous times by other pro wrestlers when they're talking about botches that they've experienced.
Closest I can think of is
it's called-
spiking.
I think it might be a spike or a stinger. I think.
I tried Googling when a wrestler fucks up dropping someone on the head, and it gave me pornography.
All right, so
I used to like do BMX and skateboarding photography, so like yeah, spiking is kind of the same type of term, yeah.
so
Alright,
I went
yeah, it's
to
probably a
the
spike.
Pro Wrestling Fandom Wiki, and on their page they have a list of wrestling slang. And down at H they have head drop, a move which, as a result of a botch, causes the receiver to be dropped on their head, often resulting in a legit concussion or other injury, such as a broken neck.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I'm confident I heard something like stinger or ringer or something that basically it more refers to like the feeling of being dropped on your head,
What do
not
they
necessarily
call it?
the actual thing.
What do they call it when white dudes do the thing with 2 fingers and then 1 finger? You know what I mean?
Death match.
No.
The shocker.
The shocker. Yeah, there we go. That's
might
probably
be.
it. Is that it? I
Maybe,
contributed.
I don't know.
Holy cow.
I don't know, maybe. But anyways, getting back on track now. You know, the Hookhausen match I think was a great primer for what's to come for that tag team, considering that Hook is a really stiff, really good in-ring worker, and Danhausen is just a treat on the mic. Like, they're a perfect pairing in my opinion. Plus, with Hook being so rarely on the mic, and the first time he's ever spoken is just like when Danhausen is fucking with his chips. Like, it's just great. I just love both characters. They're so good. I love them both so much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what are y'all's take on Danhausen so far, though? We haven't seen much of his wrestling, at least not in 8.
I have.
What's y'all's take?
I
mean,
introduced Rachel to Danhausen like months ago.
I don't remember anything from months ago. I've been having a
Anyway,
difficult go of it.
I was on the show and we watched. You were just kind of typing up like Orange Cassidy versus Danhausen.
Oh yeah, I got a
Yeah.
copyright claim for that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Somehow I never get copyright claims.
I have no
I
idea.
love Danhausen.
His theme is a banger.
Oh
He's
yeah,
the
his
best
theme is an
Hausen.
absolute banger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice, very evil.
I've been a fan of his for a very long time, and it's like, it's so fucking fun. Like,
Just
I watched him in like the ROH days when like no one was watching, and
Yeah.
then indies before that, and mostly YouTube, really, because that's where the real stuff is. The real
Yeah.
juicy juice.
I
just the
don't know,
way he comes out there and his own face is on his crotch.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's so good.
Jimmy's back.
You gotta respect that.
To be honest, as much as the respect I give to the indies, I don't watch them very often because I am a prissy consumer. If the video and audio quality is not up to par, I can't watch it. The only exception, I would say, is one specific promotion that my cousin showed me while I was living in BC for about a couple months.
It was Hexen Show.
Close. It was this. It's this annual promotion that they do their whole thing and then they sell DVDs, and that's primarily where they get their money, is through merch and DVD sales. and I remember, I think, oh my god, it's been so long since I thought about this match that I can't even remember who was in it. There was a girl in it, and then there was a guy who's known for what's called the dick spot.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Where
think
you,
you know
like,
what you're talking about.
magical,
If I say the thumbtack spot, you probably know what I'm talking about. The boot thumbtacks.
Okay, so that's a different dick spot. Okay.
Different dick spot, but the main reason I wanted to bring it up was because that is where I suddenly realized that wrestling is fucking cool. Is when I'm gonna fucking look this up. Thumbtack boot spot. Oh, Candice LeRae. That's who it was. So Candice LeRae took a spot where there was this boot with thumbtacks stuck into it. One of the other wrestlers puts this boot on their foot and super kicks Candice LeRae straight in the face. And I was like, wrestling is fucking cool. Because, like, Candice LeRae looked absolutely fuckered after that. Like, there were, like, holes in her forehead where she got kicked. And it was a spot against, of course, the Young Bucks at PWG is what the promotion is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. PWG, for those who don't know, is pretty much like, it's like the indie spot, really, for a lot of big indie wrestlers. You would see Bryan Danielson there. You would see, as I mentioned, the Young Bucks there. Candice LeRae is often there. I think 1 year or 2 years, Aleister Black was there, although he's not known as that anymore. He used to be going by Tommy End at that point before he went to WWE. What's he going by now, Aleister?
Aleister Black. Oh, Malachi Black, yes.
Malachi, okay. Yeah. By the way, Malachi Black, while he was wrestling for WWE, best entrance theme. Best fucking.
Have you seen his new one?
I haven't seen his. Well, I've seen the one he's been using since he got into AEW, unless he has a new one.
No, it's yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty. That one's pretty good. But I don't.
Malachi Black.
But Malachi Black as well, yeah.
I'll get the thing.
But I think his best entrance was with WWE, specifically during an NXT pay-per-view where they had Code Orange and the singer the vocalist from Converge on stage performing the song live. I lost my fucking shit because I had known about Code Orange for a couple years at that point. I had known about Converge literally the week before. And then there was Converge and Code Orange doing Aleister Black's fucking entrance theme, and I lost my goddamn mind. It was sick. It was so sick. Because, like, Code Orange is a metalcore band that I first learned of their existence during a Deftones concert that I was at in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And after hearing about them, like, I started listening to their music, started reading interviews, and they said that they were like total marks. They fucking loved wrestling. And so I think Triple H saw that, Hunter Hursley Hemsley, whatever the fuck his stupid name is, that dumb beefy
Polemic.
But like he at least understood that, oh, Code Orange is like super huge marks. Well, fuck, why don't we put them on stage with the vocalist for Converge, who literally did the theme song for Aleister Black, and then have them play at a pay-per-view? And that's what happened, and I lost my mind, and that was the best.
Holy shit!
That's when WWE jumped the shark for me, because then NXT wasn't as good. After that, it started taking a complete dump, and then WWE was already shit. So I was like, well, I can't watch this no more.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It took me way too long to actually find out how cool wrestling was, because when I was a kid, everyone I knew was into WWE. This was like peak, like The Rock and like John Cena years, but my parents decided it was too violent, so I was the one motherfucker who wasn't allowed to watch it. So I just never thought about it for most of my life, and then it wasn't until like I started seeing like Matt McMuscles and Super Eye Patch Wolves like stuff about wrestling that I was like, oh wait, it's just theater kid bullshit. I love theater kid bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, that is literally what it is, and I can tell you that from experience because I used to be training to become a wrestler. Didn't go the full length of it though because the ring is 2.5 hours north of me, and let me fucking tell you, when you're running the ropes and taking bumps, you don't want to sit in that 2.5 hour car ride. You want to just fucking nap. It is awful.
Just go home.
Yeah, but yeah, so Hookhausen was pretty fucking cool. Malachi Black, pretty fucking cool. Especially this angle they've got with oh shit, who is
Death Triangle?
With Death Triangle, absolutely correct. Specifically their spiel with where is it in here? Oh, what's her name? Holy fuck, I'm so bad.
Oh,
dude.
Julia Hart.
Julia Hart, yeah. With that whole like corruption angle thing. And I know for a fact there are at least 2 people in this chat who would have heard me say corruption and their ears would have fucking perked up. So
I'm one of them.
But the corruption went nowhere until it did.
Until it did. It finally started going somewhere. Thank God.
You have to keep in mind, AEW's women's division plays off their men's division and not on their own most of the time, unless it's Serena Deeb. That's the only. And I like her. I really do, but
Jade
or unless
Cargill.
you go to dark.
Jade Cargill is also a pretty good women's championship. I don't think.
Yeah, there's less decisions made about her that are revolving other men.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Wait, you said Serena Deeb. Did she have something to do with Punk like way back in the day?
Yeah,
with
when
WWE?
she worked for
With the Straight Edge Society thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god, that was her?
Then she went to NWA. Then NWA went to YouTube, so she went to AEW.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
By the way, while you were gone, Jimmy and Bath, we were doing introductions. So first we'll start with Jimmy, and why don't you introduce yourself to chat?
I don't think there's much else to go on from, like, hi.
Tell us, like, your favorite wrestling moment.
Oh, I don't really have one, I guess. I'm just more of a...
come on. There's gotta be, like,
I'm a filthy casual. Like, I don't... Yeah, I'm too embarrassed
so
to geek out
what's
about
your
it.
favorite promotion, then?
WCCW.
Do you primarily watch WWE or AEW?
AEW. No, I can't stand WWE. I can't stand.
Yeah. Whenever I hear about like anything interesting happening in wrestling over the last like 5 years, it's either New Japan or AEW.
Yeah. WWE is really not doing anything. How about you, Bath? Introduce yourself. What's your favorite wrestling moment?
Hey, I'm Bath. I don't do much of anything. I know next to nothing about wrestling other than some bits of watching it and a single video game.
That's fair. You know,
what was the single video game, just out of curiosity?
SmackDown versus Raw 2008.
Ooh, that was actually a pretty good one, to be honest.
I remember when I was really young, I had like a PS2 demo disc, and it had a demo for SmackDown Just Bring It on it. And again, for reasons I've already discussed, I was never allowed to play it. But I could watch the trailer for Devil May Cry that was on that disc as many times as I fucking wanted.
No, I think chat needs to really consider it's SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 featuring ECW.
Oh,
it is.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
EC
Yeah,
Dub.
because Ashley's down there. Yeah.
Speaking of EC Dub,
EC Dub, EC Dub,
yeah,
as Adam Blompier would put it.
True, but we were talking about pipe bombs earlier, and I just want for all the old heads in chat, fucking the ECW One Night Stand, the pipe bomb that fucking Paul Heyman drops is a fucking banger. Like him pointing at Bradshaw and being all like, the only reason you had a belt was because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
The only reason you were WWE champion for a whole year was because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
You don't see me tying my tail behind my back and going to a WCW show.
So good. Or like, oh look, it's Edge. And it was such a good promo. And like I bring that up because ECW, but I'm getting sidetracked now. It's my turn to get sidetracked. Back on track. Double or Nothing. Another thing that's been built up for a very, very long time now is the men's and women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. We finally had the tournament finals during the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. The men's final was between Samoa Joe and Adam Cole, while the women's final was against Dr. Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho. And what I want to say is I'm going to start off with a controversial opinion with the women's final. I do not think that I can possibly be disappointed with the results of that match, given the fact that Ruby Soho has been kind of rusty.
So,
and like Britt Baker has been like nailing her moves and doing fairly well in the ring, but Ruby Soho, I've been noticing while I'm watching her, she's got a few botches under her belt.
So there's something I want to add to this. And it's about the semifinals, the match where Soho was against Chris Statlander. Now, I don't know if it made it into the live show, but when Soho came out and beat Statlander, the house booed the hell out of her.
I'm not surprised.
And it went like she couldn't even cut her promo. That's like for how long it was going.
Oh, damn.
It was so unwarranted.
Well,
she spent like a minute going, look, I like her too, guys. Please, let me do this.
Ruby Soho probably Chris Statlander at the very beginning probably would have been a very good contender. And Ruby Soho was probably like the people what they were expecting. But once you put Adam Cole on the other side, oh yeah, the whole picture kind of comes together. Like I thought they were going to pick Jeff Hardy and Ruby Soho at first, but then like things started to like change. Yeah. As soon as they put Jeff Hardy in, because they didn't announce him first, they just kind of dropped him in the second like thing versus Darby Allin, which was pretty good. But that Ishii one, just spectacular.
Yeah.
Can I have one minor complaint about how the Owen Hart tournament ended?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
If y'all saw Double or Nothing, you noticed that both the winners wore some form of pink attire, and the losers didn't. And in the end, it was kind of obvious who was gonna win or lose. I really felt like they could have put in a little more effort into like keeping the winner a guessing game. Like I could kind of, because like after the Adam Cole Samoa Joe match, I was just like, okay, so Adam Cole won, okay, and he wore pink. All right, so I kind of already got a hunch of what's probably going to happen next. So if Britt Baker walks out in pink gear,
Samoa Joe's tied up in ROH, so
no, I mean that's fair. That's totally fair. Like, and like you can have a wrestler that can hold two titles. It's totally fine. Like it's not like somebody's gonna have challenged him for the Owen Hart belt afterwards. Like that's not gonna be a thing. Like it's fine. Like he can certainly, like, Joe can certainly hold another title if he wants to.
Well, his
but
whole
I
thing
just-
is that like he's going after a title, like he's going to bind every title
again.
But like he didn't win it, so it's like I think they're kind of just trying to
Again,
whittle
that's
away
fine.
ROH and then rebuild it from
But
like.
I feel like a lot of people would say that Ruby earned like a shot at least some form of recognition. Like even like once, like I don't care, like she, like I feel like she could at least like challenge for the TBS championship. Like that's totally fine with me. Like give her something, because like she's been working so hard just to, and she's over with a lot of the crowd, like and I just, okay, and of course she can make mistakes, like she's human after all. It's just I just feel like after the men's match and the women's match came on, and I just feel like, okay, so Britt Baker is wearing pink, okay, she's probably gonna win it, and I was already kind of done with the match.
Yeah,
Like that's how
definitely.
I felt about it.
So that is fair, but I think it was primarily coincidence because Adam Cole and Britt Baker are both in a relationship, and I think they were both just like, why don't we wear pink?
It was just too obvious to tell.
But yeah, I think it was just a coincidence. But yeah, having that pattern there, that pattern recognition probably hurt the finish just a little bit. But yeah, I think Ruby Soho would have benefited a lot more from winning the championship than Britt Baker, because Britt Baker is already over like Rover, and so is Ruby Soho. But keeping that in mind, I think Ruby and Britt are both going to be over no matter what the finish was. So having it go either way, I don't see it as affecting either too much. I would just see maybe like Ruby getting a bigger pop, maybe. But moving on over though, so that was a pretty decent match though. But moving on over to Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, since we talked about that a little bit. I think it was you, Amber, who was talking about the Samoa Joe angle where he's trying to get every like title that he can. How would this kind of affect his current angle? Like, does it affect it at all, or does this kind of like put a hamper on things?
Well, I feel like the Owen Hart tournament is probably only going to happen once a year, so it's more of a like, okay, I can defend this, but I have to go through all, like it's only once a year and probably doesn't want to count that. For Adam Cole, that counts a lot more. For Samoa Joe, he's after that like active thing, whereas Adam Cole is for like moments still, I guess. Still trying to like establish his canon in the longer scale of things, I guess.
I see. Yeah. It's really interesting too, because like I'm starting to notice that I mean, Samoa Joe, as good as he is, it feels like during this match, Samoa Joe was kind of not at his best. Like it wasn't like bad by any stretch of the means. It just seems like Samoa Joe is starting to slow down. So
yeah, I mean, like he's 40 something now, so like yeah.
Is he? Holy shit!
He's been doing this forever.
Yeah, he's been doing this since like early 2000s.
He looks like he's in his like early 30s.
Yeah, and so like I do agree that like his stuff is not as snappy as it was in like NXT or when he first went to main roster. But I mean, I feel like they need to give him more than just ROH storylines. Like they gave him that one match with the Owen Hart tournament, and like there was some others at the very start, but it's really really just like, okay, well, he's gonna be beat up by what's his face, the very tall man and the two smaller men. They're just gonna run in. Well, no, there's a third one.
So it's Dr.
With a
Tall,
clipboard.
Mr. Smalls.
Anyways, yeah, they just run in. Ba 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 ba. We actually want the belt. But why do you want the belt? I want all the belts. But yeah, that's kind of without a TV show, it's kind of up in the air. Like,
I'm
there's no
gonna go
set
off on a
schedule of like
complete side.
when this story is going to be told.
I'm gonna go off on a complete side tangent because of that and say that more wrestling should have like henchman characters. Like, imagine if like a wrestler comes out with like big guy and small guy who are like, "We got it, boss." Yeah, we're on it, boss.
Some stables absolutely do that.
That would make
Hardy
storylines better, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. By the way, chat, if you guys have questions to ask all of these beautiful people, the beautiful people, if you know what you mean, if you have any questions for us, throw them in chat and we'll be glad to answer them. But overall, I want to get everybody's feelings on Double or Nothing as a pay-per-view. I'll be honest, I am reading the result sheets. I have yet to see it, but I've already been fully spoiled on it. Well before this whole spiel. Damn, we had gooners with the modern day. That's a word. Thank you, Attic. Thank you for your. I don't know what that. I still don't know what that word is. Maharaja.
Yeah.
We got Dan. We had Gunners with the Mandre Maharaja.
Oh no, that's Gooners with he's referring to was it WWE with the what's that guy?
The modern Maharaja.
Maharaja.
Yeah. Who was that guy? He had the belt for like 180 days, and he was just kind of giving it.
Oh,
Jinder Mahal. That's it. Jinder Mahal.
Oh yeah. Don't mess with the gender. Yeah,
he did the was it the Punjabi prison cage match with
my lord.
They did this whole they did this whole thing where WWE like pushed this guy as a heel, and like they tried to push him in India, but they didn't quite tell the Indian audience, oh, this guy's a heel.
Oh no.
Oh my god, I just
okay. So I hate saying this, but it kind of just happened. Like as I was watching it at the very beginning, I was like, okay, I kind of like this story. I don't like how we won it, but I'm willing to like watch this for 2 weeks and then not shit happen.
I need to get something off my chest.
But like Chat was saying, he had a couple goons with him.
Oh.
Me. So if you put Jinder Mahal into like a Boston Crab / Walls of Jericho, would you be a
sharpshooter?
Would you be a gender bender?
Thank you.
I bend my gender all the time. You got to make sure it's nice and flexible. But yeah, like overall, back on topic, like I think like Double or Nothing was overall a fairly solid pay-per-view. In the grand scheme of AEW pay-per-views, probably weaker among the PPVs that they've done, but in the grand scheme of like pro wrestling right now, probably like it's a solid one. It was a good one. Mostly happy with all the events. I pretty much just watched Hookhausen, watched the squash match, and I was like, I got what I needed. I can tune out now. I do not care what else happens. I got what I wanted from tonight.
Yeah, that was I think it was a really good decision, like where it was to have its own thing and like put it on YouTube or whatever. Like, yeah, that's the match everyone wants to see, even before. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've now talked about recent AEW things, except for one we have neglected to mention. CM Punk, after 13 years, is once again holding a championship belt. How do we feel
Did you
about
read the
that?
news today?
Oh, what's the news?
Or did you watch last night?
What's the news?
Oh, he's gotta get surgery.
You're fucking kidding.
They're actually gonna have a tournament to to have a intermittent championship.
Oh yeah,
Shit.
Kidding.
that's just happening.
Oh, you gotta hold on. Oh my god, that sucks. Fuck, 13 years and he gets it taken away from him. Oh my god.
Well, he's still gonna have it. He didn't relinquish it.
It's
but
just
they're
in,
gonna have it
it's just
interim.
in the meantime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just give it to Sammy Guevara. Let him throw himself off a 20-foot ladder again.
I gotta respect CM Punk, not just for all like the other reasons to respect him, but just as like someone who only dips in every now and again. He came out like shows up, and him and MJF do the gayest thing in the world. Gotta love that.
Holy
You know,
shit.
I like. Okay, so I was really looking forward to Punk against Tanahashi at Forbidden Door. So maybe they can make Forbidden Door a semi-regular pay-per-view, and like maybe next year once Punk is fully here and all that, then they'll try to like have
they're
that
gonna
match
want to brand the shit out of that.
They've already like announced it, so it's like it has to happen the next time there's a chance.
Mhm.
You know, like fucking.
I mean, they announced Blood and Guts years ago now, and they're doing it.
Yeah. I'm certainly of the opinion that CM Punk really needs to get his dream matches in soon, because he's not going to have a whole lot of time left, considering he's also 43, the same age as Samoa Joe.
Oh jeez.
But he's running out of time. Samoa Joe is running out of time to be able to put on their dream matches before they can't even do like middle turnbuckle moves anymore. And we're seeing that now with CM Punk now having been injured during the Double or Nothing match, which is incredibly unfortunate, dude. Like, I have to say, I'm going to state this again, 13 years, 7 or 8 of which CM Punk has been completely away from the pro wrestling ring, spent 2 matches getting his shit kicked in with the UFC, and then he comes back, he's just over like nobody else has ever been over in their lives, except for maybe Bret Hart in Quebec, or like Bret Hart in Alberta.
Nick Gage should retire CM Punk.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would be more towards.
Think about it. Like this long line, like he just keeps going, and then Nick Gage shows up on AEW again, and that's how they install him as like a feature on the show. And he just like doesn't kill CM Punk, but he gives him a show. That's a way to go out.
I don't know about that. Hey, that's pretty nice. My mom is showing me some graphic design she did.
Cool. Hi, Mom.
No.
But I guess Nick Gage would be a good thing, I guess. But I feel like you'd want him to be retired by newer, younger talent that have more staying power. Someone like Darby Allin.
At this point, I'm not sure. Like, well, yeah, but that's not really a dream match.
Yeah, no, I don't. Well, I mean, consider the fact that I don't think. Well, yeah, I guess it isn't because they already wrestled each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they were in a tag team with Sting, so like.
I was gonna say, like, well, if you think about it, it's like, well, the Stone Cold and Kevin Owens match.
I mean, MJF could retire him, but.
Oh yeah, that absolutely, 100%. But as I was saying, though, I was going to say that the Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens match wasn't a dream match, and then I stopped myself and realized, oh fuck, it was a dream match for fucking Kevin Owens. because he does the fucking stunner. By the way, since I brought this up, I'm gonna bring this up and let y'all just spin everything about this. Just throw mud on WWE over this while I go for a cigarette break real quick. What in the fuck is with Vince McMahon never being able to sell a fucking stunner in his life? And what the fuck was that stunner at the last WrestleMania? There is no explanation for that. Like, he needs to be in a retirement home. That was fucking awful. All right, so I'm gonna go for a break. Y'all can talk about that awful.
Well, if we were talking about dream matches, I got a dream match coming up with IQ Wrestler. So,
Ooh.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
I was just gonna say, like, from my limited experience of seeing Vince McMahon do stuff, it feels like occasionally he has moments where he just does cool shit, like, by accident, but then the rest of the time it's like, Like, that one time he fucking, like, tore both his fucking quads by accident and then just kept going.
Well, well, he, like, ran to the ring.
He ran to the ring.
Something wrong.
Yeah,
and
he ran to the ring, got in, and in the process of standing up, tore both his quads, and then proceeded to do the thing he was going to do. Sat down.
Oh god!
Like,
and told nobody what was happening.
Vince McMahon is a horrible human being, and he knows it. But goddamn, can he work? And goddamn, does he know to pull heat?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he knows how to work. Have you watched?
No, like we're talking about how he can't sell a stunner. Like he has trouble selling moves.
Okay,
I'm not sure where that comes from.
Yeah, I think it comes from WBF. The wrestling show without any wrestling, it just had Lex Luger. It was the show that was the Lex Express. They would interview Olympic athletes and not really show them, like, they would show cinematic angles of, I'm going on a spiel here, cinematic angles of them, like them working out or them doing their stuff, and the hub set was Vince's like workout and gym that you see pictures of. That was the set, and it was so fucking hokey.
It's funny.
Like he's I gotta find an episode because his shirt, if he wasn't homophobic, it would probably look good on him.
Oh.
All right, so Vince McMahon's one of those homophobes that straight up admits he has sex with guys. It's the weirdest thing.
Does he?
Yeah.
Is that? Are you being silly, or is this like a real thing?
The beef.
It's one of those things that, like, McMahon doesn't. It's not the thing he'll talk about openly, but it's one of those things that's just established in.
Like, you just know.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of what was it? I think he was quoted at one point saying, "Was it?" Let me see if I can just pull the quote. You can keep talking. I'll see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a picture of Vince McMahon on WBF with his workout gear.
Keep talking and nobody explodes.
I'm trying to remember if, like, in my limited knowledge, I have any other, like, Vince McMahon stories.
I mean, if y'all have noticed the pattern of, like, him pushing, like, really big and
huge
tall,
dudes, yeah,
huge dudes, not just like I think it could just start with, I don't know, Hogan, Ultimate Warrior.
Here's a magazine cover of WBF with a Lou Ferrigno on it. So yeah, the Hulk.
All right, so okay, so I got the background on the Vince thing. So it's no secret that Vince likes big, muscly guys.
Big, meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah, it informs a lot of his card decisions. It informs pretty much every casting decision he has control of. And some wrestlers in the past have accused him of, or have said that he has demanded sexual favors from especially big, meaty men.
Demanded them?
Oh.
he's in charge of the company. You see.
Well, yeah, there has been some like weird accusations, especially back in the day, where it's like, oh yeah, if you win or if you lose, you'll get a blowjob.
Okay.
Well, then that puts things into a different perspective.
So we could go all night about how the McMahon family are evil, but
oh, absolutely.
I feel like that would be, I don't know, outside the scope.
Yeah,
of this.
there's tons of shoots online from like ECW people being like, here's the weird shit that happened. I loved it. I made tons of money.
Is the story true that,
like,
is the story true that like Vince McMahon like didn't know what a taco was?
It was either that or burrito. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm back from slipping under the bottom rope, slipping under the mat for a cigarette.
Just get on the top rope.
Is that a shoot or a work? That has to be a work. There's no way that Vince McMahon doesn't fucking know what a taco is.
Oh no, it was a burrito. It was a burrito.
He lives in Connecticut.
I mean, he should know what a burrito is,
There's
at
Taco
least.
Bell everywhere, man. He's seen it on.
Where's my
Have you been to Connecticut?
Where's my burrito?
There's no fucking Taco Buenos anywhere.
I'm gonna read some. I'm gonna just read some like bits from the article I found about this. What was it? It was one of those stories that always repeats itself. They were trying to work an angle with Big Show, and here's a guy who's so physically big and physically imposing. What do you do to get over on him? I think they were going to poison Big Show and give him a spiked burrito. The whole concept was we were going to spike his food, spike the burrito. You cut to a vignette before that showing him eating it, and then he passes out in the ring. Vince McMahon balked at this, not at the spiking angle, but at the food item being mentioned, claiming that no one in the audience or at home would know what on earth a burrito was.
What the fuck?
There was a moment of silence, and then the rest of the writers' room nervously spoke up, one by one, confirming they all knew what a burrito was.
My God.
So Vince goes, "Burrito? Who the hell knows what a burrito is?"
Oh, okay. So the angle is he knows what a burrito is, but he thinks his audience is so stupid that they don't know what a burrito is.
It was, quote, "It was such a far concept," and everyone in the room goes, "Well, we know what a burrito is," and Vince goes, "Well, where the hell have I been?"
He doesn't know?
Never had a burrito.
Poor guy.
That is truly remarkable.
Not only did he not know what a burrito was, he assumed that he was not alone in that.
No, I'm pretty sure he's like the only man in America not to know what a burrito is. That is incredible.
He doesn't need to. He's Vince McMahon.
Fair. I feel like that goes in towards, like billionaires just being so out of touch with actual real life that they just don't know the most simplest concepts. Like they're so far removed from the average working American lifestyle that they're just like, I remember there was this one segment on an Ellen DeGeneres show where Bill Gates was in, and he was tasked with estimating the cost of food, and he constantly get it wrong. He was way, way off. He had no idea how much like bananas were or how much tater tots were. He was just completely clueless.
I don't think I could guess how much tater tots are though. Like $4 for a bag of them?
$3.95. I eat a lot of potatoes.
Yeah.
Even though I do not bulk up at all.
I think he said something like $20, and the actual cost.
For how many pounds of hash browns?
It was, well, it's not hash browns, it's tater tots. It's different. But I think.
Not the way I cook them.
I think like for a decent bag to get you like 3 or 4 healthy heaping servings of it would cost you about like $4 or $5, if that. Ooh, words on screen. But yeah, like oh, see, I love you, Rachel. This is such a beautiful painting. This is so beautiful. I love this.
Is this so
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Hold on. I'm glad Jimmy likes it.
This is art.
It is.
Is she playing Super Mario 64?
No.
No.
Super Mario 64 is just for the color of the lake and the like waterfall.
Oh God.
Please
Let's
don't
move on
pass
to the
out.
next. Let's move on to the next topic here. This is a question that I asked on the last episode of Raturday Night Cage Match, and it's one of my favorite questions to ask. We're gonna go around the room, and we're going to say what our wrestling entrance theme would be and what our signature moves would be. So I'm gonna start with myself. First of all, I'm never fully set on what my entrance theme is going to be. It always changes like every fucking hour of the day. But so far, I think my favorite that I've had so far that I constantly go back to is the entrance theme that I actually used for a fantasy wrestling Facebook group that I used to be a part of, where the point was that you cut promos on other fantasy wrestlers, and the winner of the match would be determined by who had the better promos. I was at one point women's champion, so you are looking at a women's fantasy wrestling championship title belt holder. But my entrance theme changed quite a lot over my time with oh god, what was it called? I can't even remember what they called their promotion. But I think my favorite entrance so far was it was the song was by Frontierer. It's like a super heavy noise metal. And I think it was a song called Opaque Horizon. It's really noisy, really harsh for the first minute or so, and then it cuts into this like it cuts away a lot of the noise, and you get this really melodic guitar going through, like this droning sort of thing. And then it just sounds really pretty, and then all of a sudden the drums kick in, and it's just ridiculously fucking loud. It's like this huge orchestra of noise.
Can we play this song?
I'm not sure. You should be able to. I think they're independently signed, so like UMG isn't gonna throw a fit and mute the stream. But
Opaque Horizon by Frontier.
Frontierer.
Frontierer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Frontierer.
I'm just gonna save a playlist on Spotify for all of this. I actually have one I actually had one started from last time when I was listening into the cage match.
Sorry, quick, just because it's being discussed in the Twitch chat, I need to post a picture in the Discord of Anna Wintour's steak and slab o' cheese.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Anna Wintour's go-to $77 lunch, by the way.
Yeah. Once again, rich people just really don't understand anything.
Oh, that
really.
fucking shit! God, that is the most disgusting bit of food I have ever seen in my entire life.
So, okay.
It's not disgusting. It's just like
I would eat the meat.
I'd eat it, but for $77 for lunch.
No, yeah.
Here's your
the meat is
$77 lunch.
Most of it. Meat's very expensive. It's
So
I'm not saying like rich people can afford meat like that.
Please let me speak. Please. Okay. So to catch everybody up who may not know, the editor-in-chief for Vogue orders this for lunch. It is like this tiny slab of steak, and I can't remember what the caprese salad without tomatoes.
Yes.
So it was basically just steak and cheese with some like sauce drizzled over it.
With like olive oil and a tiny thing of basil.
So honestly, that doesn't look half bad, but she's paying $77 for this, and that's how I realized that rich people really don't understand like anything. They don't understand the culinary arts.
Yeah.
They don't understand life or anything, because that's not a $77 meal. I don't care what restaurant you're going to. If you're paying $77 for like a steak and 2 slabs of mozzarella, you're fucking yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not
anyways,
a fucking caprese anyway. Like, or it's
like saying you want a burger without the patty.
There's a soggy piece of lettuce there. Like that's fucked up enough. Like it's all wilted and shit. Like no.
I don't think that's even. I think that's just basil.
It's like, at least put the tomato in there, or are you too fucking lazy to grab the salt shaker? Come on.
They don't like the taste. They don't like ketchup. I don't know.
I don't know.
At least have a vegetable.
Who else has got an intro song?
Yeah,
oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that was the topic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got some.
Wait! I haven't finished my thing yet.
Okay, who wants to finish your thing?
Go ahead, Strix.
Yeah, so my entrance theme was Opaque Horizon. I used the original music video, as you're seeing behind me, for the base of the video, and then the rest of it I went into Blender, used this font, extruded it into a 3D model, and then brought it into Unity on the back of a green screen, and then like shook the 3D model around and like zoomed it in a bunch, flipping through. And it was really fucking cool. I really liked it. But my signature move would have been a crossbody from the top rope. And the idea was, usually it'd just be a normal crossbody, but if I got caught, I would put it into a reverse, I think a reverse DDT is what it would be called. And then my finisher would probably be something like, oh fuck, I don't know. Probably something like a twisty looking fucking flying kick kind of thing. Oh my god, drop kick. Just a drop kick with an extra spin on it. That's all it would
be. Like a 360 leg drop or something, or
no. So it wouldn't be from the top rope. It'd be like on the ground.
Oh, okay. So like a spinning back kick, heel kick or something.
Kind of. So I would Irish whip the opponent into the ropes, and they would come back at me. It would be like a normal drop kick, like a double leg drop kick where you're like jumping into the air and like kicking them, but I would just spin. Like I would do a barrel roll while I'm in the air.
Okay.
So it's just a drop kick with like flair. That's all it would be.
The closest move that I'm thinking about that is Trouble in Paradise, but instead of just a single leg kick, it's like a double leg drop kick.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. But so yeah, that would be my entrance theme and my signature and finisher move. As we go down, you can entrance theme, and then you can either put in your signature and your finisher, or just a finisher. It's up to you. But we're gonna start from the bottom of the voice chat list. So Steb, you go first.
Oh gee, I'm never used to the idea that these reverse orders put me first.
Do we want to do non-reversed order since we did reversed order last time?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right, so then we'll go from the top with Amber, who has now left the building.
Amber is a chair.
Great.
All right, so we'll start at Bath then.
Cool. I was thinking about this when you brought the question up, and the first song that came to my mind, I think it would actually be cool. I'm glad it was the first. Dive by Nirvana. That would be a cool intro song, I think.
Oh, dude, I love... Alright, I don't need to brag about that. Everyone knows I like Nirvana.
As far as like a special move, I don't really know anything about wrestling, but I do like it when people bounce off the fucking... I don't know what they're called. The bands on the edge.
The ropes.
The ropes,
yeah.
Yes.
The old trampoline maneuver.
So what you would probably be doing is, if you're bouncing off of the ropes rather than at the corner, you'd probably be doing what's called a springboard.
I'll do one of those, yeah.
Yeah, some kind of springboard move. Usually, if you're doing a springboard, it's you're either jumping with your face facing the ropes, and then bouncing backwards. Usually it could be like an elbow, or you could spin around, turn around in the air and do a clothesline. There's a lot of things you could do with a springboard move, but yeah, springboard it's a solid finishing move. It's a solid one. Quite a few wrestlers use those kinds of moves as their signatures. That'd be solid. Cool. Amber, now that you're back, we decided to swap around. The order. So you're
Amber,
gonna go
are you
next.
making popcorn?
Yeah. I haven't eaten anything today. I'm sorry.
This is an audio medium, and you're
I'm
making
very
popcorn
sorry.
50 feet away.
I didn't think I was gonna. I don't have any peanut butter. I was just gonna make a peanut butter. Sorry.
That's okay.
No,
It'll be done in like 2 seconds. Anyways,
I would use Supermot by 1,000 Homo DJs.
Nice.
And my special signature style move would be a Inzaguri and a super kick.
Nice. Those are solid. Those are really solid.
A super kick is when you do like you just kick them like straight, and then an
Like, think
Inzaguri
about-
is where you like bicycle kick, flip in the air, and
yeah. So like the super kick is basically like, think like Shawn Michaels, like just a really big boot to the face, and Enziguri is some flippy shit. Kind of, sort of, but not really. But yeah, it's.
I can
considered
do
flippy
like
shit by old
octopus
heads.
flips pretty easy over walls already. So like, yeah.
Yeah, but I heard your microwave beep, so you can go tend to your popcorn. So, Fingers, you next. Entrance theme, finishing move.
So I got a bit of a shitpost answer.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
So when I come out, it also just plays throughout the whole match too, but it ends at a certain point. So give me Stupid Horse by 100 Gex, and then synchronize it so that whenever Laura is screaming, the song cuts off after that, but I'm getting thrown.
Sorry, what by 100 Gex?
Stupid Horse.
Stupid horse, I just fell out of the Porsche.
Lost the money in my bank account. Oh, no.
Such a good fucking song. We stand 100 gags.
Lovely.
I don't.
Speaking of shit post answers, I'm going to be really quick on this one. There's actually a wrestling entrance that I had in, I think, SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. No, it was later than that. I think it was on the GameCube that I had it. But you could upload your own custom songs into the game. So my custom song was completely not entirely scratch made, but I made it myself, where it was the beginning of Nine Inch Nails' Copy of a, and then when Trent Reznor pops in with I am just a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and it keeps going and going and going and going and going. It's still going and going and going. And then after about the, I think it was 15th time he repeats copy of a, you hear these horns, these really loud horns, like with a hood, with a hood, with a hood. And it's so annoying. It is ridiculously annoying. And to top it all off, this dude was like this robot from Japan, this like mech, who was like built like a fucking toothpick. And in this entrance theme song, I had my own I used my own voice to announce him. So it was like, from Tokyo, Japan, weighing 210 pounds, Yon Hyakuniju Moyase! And it was all auto-tuned. That means 420 blaze it, by the way, in Japanese.
Wow. Who's next?
All right, so, Rachel, are you still there?
Yes.
What would your entrance theme and your finishing move be?
I don't know anything about this, but the song that I like, I threw glass in my friend's eyes, and now I'm on probation by fucking. Oh man, I'm forgetting the band. Destroy
I
Boys.
feel like your special would be a headlock takedown.
Okay, that'd be a good entrance theme. Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't know. I like the. I want to be a little funny superhero weirdo. I don't know. That'd be my fucking. That would be my like persona. Is I'd be like. I'm
a funny superhero person.
Yeah.
Did you say funny super? Okay. I have. Okay, funny superhero person. You mean like?
Stand back! There's a bird coming through!
I love that it came out of your mouth.
Yeah. straight out of my mouth. Perfect imitation of the Hurricanes entrance theme, except edited for Wheatley saying bird.
Hell yeah.
But this is a solid choice for an entrance theme. How about you, Jane?
All right, so my intro is going to be Black Sabbath's Hand of Doom.
Let's go.
And on the screens, we're going to have the most GeoCities flame gifts you ever did see.
Yes.
Low resolution, no frames, maybe a couple. Is there a skull? The cheesiest skull you've seen. Oh, yeah.
The best skull in the world.
And all my moves are named after hot peppers. So my finisher is going to be the Carolina Reaper.
Nice.
It's like a flying thrust kick off the turnbuckle with both feet landed on the chest.
Nice.
Holy cow.
Solid.
That's terrifying.
That's really solid, actually. Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm so scared.
How about you, Jimmy?
Jeez. The thing is that I've got too many songs to pick, like for entrance. Hold on a second.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like, it's always, like, really difficult to try and, like, imagine this kind of thing because it's like, oh, this one would be nice. Oh, but this would be really good for this specific angle. Oh, but this could be good for a really cool character that I actually be able to play. Oh, but this song I really like and I want people to listen to it. Oh, but this song I've loved for years and I want to play it and it'd just be, like, fucking perfect. And then you realize, oh, you could just be like CM Punk and then just use your old ROH entrance for once.
Oh. Jump scare.
Risk of a jump scare.
Yeah. But
Okay.
like, yeah, just like, you know, pick one for now, because like, just assume that you like on special occasions you'd be able to swap out your entrance theme for something else. Oh, Jimmy's muted. We'll come back to you, Paula. How about you?
Okay, well, I guess we'll start with the entrance theme. It's gotta be "Don't Mess with Me" by Brody Dale.
Nice. Brody Dahl is like a very, very good singer. Love her work.
Yeah, and like especially later on in the song, it just like it gets really fast and speedy, and that's kind of like the brand that I have absorbed just from doing Twitch for so long. And that's what they call me. Like, they call me the fastest ass on Twitch for very good reasons.
So so then what would your finishing move be?
Finishing move, I don't know. I have like 2 or 3.
Sorry, what was Paula's song?
mind.
I missed it.
Brody Dale, "Don't Mess with Me."
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know, considering you're called the fastest ass on the internet, I would probably expect something like Rikishi's what does he call it? The stink face or something like that? Just rubbing your ass in people's faces?
No.
No?
No.
Or what about
No, you just dress up in a
Cargill.
Sonic suit.
Oh, what about Jade Cargill's move? I think it's Jade's, or it might be someone else's. No, it's Sunny Kisses. She'll run at someone standing. Their opponent will be standing in the ring. They'll run against the ropes, come back, and then turn around and jump at them, and then butt to face. Bam.
I'm not really up for the butt to face moves anyway. So I was thinking like, okay, so
I was just running off the fastest ass on the internet.
Are you not a fan of the Ass Boys?
The Ass Boys.
I think Paula's a lesbian. Or
I'm
asexual? Okay, well there you go. You know, there's 3 of them.
but I do lean towards ladies and NBs quite heavily, but
Yeah,
if there's a man that I like, I'll let him know.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn is a national treasure.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so I was thinking either, so for 2 moves, I was definitely thinking the Pele kick or Ruby's No Future, and Kenny Omega's V trigger.
Oh, Solid
yeah,
ones.
chat. I enabled Risk of Rain events also, just so if you want to vote for what items I get, you can.
Deb, you
Nice.
next.
Okay, I am going to I am going to invoke fucking loser status and be the one person who says a song from a video game.
I think you
it
mean
would
fucking cool and awesome status. Hey, we don't talk shit like that here.
In some countries.
I mean, Kenny Omega walked out to fucking Hopes and Dreams, so it's like
This
you
is
can
true.
you can
This is
definitely make that look cool.
Yeah,
Like
mine
Hopes
would
and Dreams from Undertale?
Yeah.
Oh
He
my
also-
god, that's
He
adorable!
came out, he
Yeah,
came out
he
like
actually-
dressed as Chris.
Yeah. Well, he also at one point dressed up as Sans with the blue light and everything.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
for Halloween one year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Halloween.
But yeah, for like his entrance to like some big New Japan event, he like dressed up as Chris, had like Hopes and Dreams playing, and had like a custom thing on the screen with like new pixel art done by Toby Fox. It was incredible.
Oh my god,
yeah.
that's so cute!
Yeah, but
That's
yeah,
so perfect. Oh my god.
I mine would probably be Receive and Bite You from Yakuza 4. That would probably be the one I had to go for.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna stop you right there. Like, I understand the hesitation to use video game music, but Yakuza OSTs fucking bang. They
Sorry, can I get
slap.
that name one more time?
Absolutely do. Receive and Bite You from Yakuza 4. It's the song that plays when you fight Majima in that game.
Okay, like there should be no shame in using that kind of
I'll post it in the thing. There you
thing. That's amazing. But what would your finishing moves be?
go. My finisher. Okay, I have no idea about the logistics of this, but it's something that seems cool in my mind palace, which is I want to do like a off the rope springboard move, but like using the momentum to transition into like a jumping tornado kick or some shit.
Yo,
Like a flying like spin kick.
that'd be fucking gnarly. For what it's worth, springboard moves are usually very precarious. I'm
sure,
ropes,
yeah.
The ropes are often made out of steel cable, like wrapped steel cable, that are then wrapped in basically colored duct tape. So if you're capable of generating the amount of momentum necessary to throw yourself into a spin kick like that without throwing your trajectory way off, then like fucking go hard.
Yeah, I like I say, I have no idea how a move like that would actually work logistically. Just in my brain, I'm like, funny.
Nah, that could logistically work. It would just be very precarious because springboard moves themselves are usually pretty precarious. But nah, it's totally doable. I could imagine somebody doing that easily, especially if they've spent quite a few years in the ring and are like familiar with doing shit off the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fucking sick, y'all. Like y'all got some really good taste in entrance themes and finishing moves. Jimmy, if you're still here, did you want to finish your answer?
Yeah, before I was interrupted. The thing is that again, I think I caught the tail end of it before I was dragged away. Like having multiple theme songs for different scenarios and all that. It's just, yeah, I definitely have that issue. But I also have the issue of liking theme songs that wrestlers already have or have had. I guess, for example, Rollin' by Limp Bizkit, when The Undertaker had that. I really liked that. There's also...
Wait, can I change my answer?
Yeah. After Jimmy.
Okay.
I guess... Oh, God. You've now put me on the spot, and I don't know... I think... Okay, I have one of two picks. The first would be Touched by Vast, but it's not the AJ Styles remixed version. It would be the original version. But if I had to go with one that I don't think any wrestler has, I would probably go with I Am Rock by Rock. I think that's the band or something.
That's a really good one.
I would go with that. and have
That would be such a power move.
Yeah, the full song with the intro and all of that, and then it goes, "I am rock," and then I would go onto the stage and all that.
And call yourself Bedrock.
I need to change my answer again.
Nah.
Okay. And then your finisher.
Oh, again, this is something that I haven't really put much thought into. I think actually, for I've got a signature and a finisher in mind.
Okay.
A signature, I would do a springboard 450.
Nice.
And then for my finisher, fuck it, I'd go with a burning hammer.
Let's go.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's because I know it's a very difficult move to pull off, but as far as my wrestling knowledge has gone, I don't think anybody's kicked out of it. I think maybe in the Cruiserweight Classic with Brian Kendrick and Kota Ibushi, I think that might be the only one. Possibly, I don't know. My memory's sort of fuzzy on it, but yeah. As far as I know of, like, Burning Hammer is like a move that nobody would kick out.
Oh yeah, because like that shit is fucking scary looking. That burning hammer, like that is an incredibly dangerous wrestling move, and you really not only have to know what you're doing, but the other wrestler really has to trust that you know what you're doing. Ratty, what was your revised entry?
I don't remember. Let's move on.
Okay. It's okay.
What a cap off to the bit.
And she went into finger painting mode, and now she's playing Risk of Rain. It's okay. She's having her fun.
This is my gimme episode. This is the one where I don't have to do any work at all, so I can play with my little toys and build a miniature city.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So that was a really good conversation, because I think like one of my favorite things to do, or hard to say if I would call it favorite, because I'm always arguing with myself over it, but certainly a favorite pastime of mine is to think about who I would be as a wrestler, like what my entrance and finishing move would be. So it was really cool picking y'all's brains about that. But
it's a very fun topic, because it goes with like the part of your brain when you listen to cool music that likes to imagine a fight scene in your head.
Yes. Oh my god, that's where like half of my ideas for wrestling entrances come from. Is just be like, oh, this would be a great soundtrack to me beating the absolute shit out of AJ Styles, man.
Yeah.
But
I've got another theme song. Apart from the other ones, I don't think any wrestlers got this. Before I Forget by Slipknot.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
That's another good one. Really good edgy pick, in my opinion. Like, straight up. That goes back to like the Attitude Era where, you know, like Disturbed and like Limp Bizkit was getting entrance themes into. Speaking of which, since we're on the topic of entrance themes and shit, why the fuck did anybody in the WWE say it was a good idea to move away from Stone Cold's Disturbed entrance? Shattered is fucking insane. It goes so hard. It was his best entrance theme, and then they didn't use it anymore. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I've heard that one before.
I'm sure you've heard of it. If you looked up Disturbed Shattered, you'll find it.
It's the one that goes.
Bam!
I know Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme song, but it's like I know that there have been several iterations of it.
Yeah. But the Disturbed version of it is fantastic because the guitar squealing and the harmonics are so much more aggressive, so much fuller. And the lyrics for it are really fucking good. They're really fitting for Stone Cold. I'm breaking the limit inside you. Stop finding someone to hide you. It's fucking good. It's good. And then of course they end the chorus with like, "Take away," like that fucking like iconic fucking Disturbed shit with that fucking growl at the end of it, and then you get like the phased like guitars like running their riffs or whatever through the fretboard, and then it's like all like really dreamy sounding, and then wow, and then it goes back into its original riff, and it's so fucking good, man. I know that sounded hella fucking autistic of me to do that type of shit, but fuck, it's such a good song. I obsess over that song. It's the perfect wrestling entrance song. I don't care. I'm
Autistic
not cringe.
/ positive.
Okay, I just found it, and I remember it, and I remember not liking this version of it.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have poor taste in music, I guess.
Wow.
I got two
There's my
comments
pipe
immediately
bomb
on
for the day.
my-
There's my pipe bomb for the day. Jimmy has bad taste in music, and it makes me
Whoa.
upset.
Well,
Well, to be fair, I've never had any good taste in music.
I do wonder if they moved away from it because of his heel turn at the time.
Possibly. It was just too much of a banger. I do know that they did bring it back once. Like, WWE did bring it back once when Stone Cold came back during the COVID audience list shows. He came out to Shattered and grabbed a bunch of beers. He came out with his, like, toothpicks for legs because he can't fucking bend his knees. He grabbed a couple beers thrown in from outside the ring, and then pours both of them on his face and then falls on his back. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool classic Stone Cold shit, aside from the fact that he has such stiff knees that he can't, like, bend over. By the way, speaking of which, though, I want to say, like, that WrestleMania event with Kevin Owens, where Stone Cold was, you know, like, that was his send-off or retirement match, I gotta say, he didn't look as bad as I was expecting. He did really well. Kevin Owens also did really well to carry the match, too, but, like, Stone Cold, he didn't really look out of shape. It just looked like his knees were fucked.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So I got to head off. It was great. Love doing these.
We've lost our first contestant. Holy shit.
Yeah, I've been eliminated. Fell off the ring.
Hold up,
Over
I gotta
the
hit the
top
button.
rope goes
One
Jimmy.
down.
Thank you for coming, though. I really do appreciate it. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I love jobbing out for you. This is great. Bring me in next time.
Absolutely. There will certainly be another cage match for sure. But yeah, everybody, round of applause for Jane. You know, like woo or boo if Jane was a heel.
You could be
I'm a heel. You can boo me.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
Are there heel heels, double heels, double helixes? Thank you. Anyway, Jane, anything you want to plug before you go?
No, I got nothing. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Fair enough. So first elimination. We're all still here though. Granted, I was out of the ring for a small smidge, but I also snuck under the bottom rope while y'all weren't looking. So
That's allowed.
sucks to be you. All right. So moving on though, like I think I kind of want to talk a little bit about the WWE. You know, we've talked a lot about the AEW and talked about the WWE in passing to shit on it, but I feel like at this point, at this stage with the WWE being the way that it is, I feel like the only good matches it pulls off is in spite of itself. Like, I don't think it's capable of pulling off good angles anymore, considering just how scripted everything is now. I just think it's like everything has to be cookie cutter because they have an entire staff of writers who are constantly writing every week for a new installment of a show that's been going since the 90s. And I think they're fresh out of ideas at this point, and they're just writing on their dedicated fan base who are always going to tune in no matter how shit the product is. In a sense, I feel like this isn't necessarily a bad thing either, because there is a core fan base with WWE who really enjoy the product, and you know what? I'm gonna certainly judge them for their poor taste, but also if they enjoy it, like, okay, I mean, like, if you enjoy it, then have fun, you know. But I don't think WWE is doing a whole lot to diversify their audience. They're not really doing a whole lot in terms of supporting the diverse wrestlers that they have. One such wrestler, I'm gonna have to look them up, but they have the most interesting gimmick that I've ever seen come out of WWE in a long time. No. Wendy Chu. If you are not familiar
Sleepy
with
Girl.
Wendy Chu in the NXT, she is essentially a ABDL in the ring. Like I'm literally
No.
Excuse me.
Okay, so not literally, but like she'll wear pajamas out to the wrestling match. She has her little sippy cup that she sips from when she's in a tag match.
Oh my god!
Outside the ring.
That's so incredible. I need a sippy cup.
I was watching an NXT pay-per-view during the WrestleMania weekend or week or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And there was one specific spot where Wendy Chu lays on the ring and then falls asleep, quote unquote. She kind of like puts her two hands in a wedge under her head, and she's just kind of like curling up into a little ball and sort of napping a little bit. And then the other wrestlers, both sides, sell it. They're just like, oh, she's asleep. Shh. And so they put their finger up their nose, and then they do a quick tag. And then the other wrestler comes into the ring, and she's like tiptoeing around, and then she goes to do an elbow drop, and then Wendy Chu rolls out of the way. And I thought, like, that is the coolest fucking thing.
That's so fucking cute. Holy shit.
I was genuinely saying, like, this is the coolest fucking gimmick, the coolest fucking gimmick I've ever seen in WWE.
Can my
wrestling in little space
Can I
together?
change my answer?
Watch them to fuck it up.
Can I change my answer?
Yes.
My special move would also be falling asleep in the ring.
But like, to bring it home though, like I feel like WWE is at a point where when you see something good, you're waiting to watch them fuck it up and to see how it fucks up. And it's just frustrating because you see a lot of really talented wrestlers who are really good, or at least like have really funny gimmicks or really good gimmicks like Wendy Chu, and all you're doing is sitting here waiting like, okay, so when are you gonna fuck her shit up and then she's gonna leave to AEW to actually do something? Yeah, it's just like I don't. I was kind of expecting a little bit more like a kind of like a bounce back and forth, but I've kind of realized I don't think anybody's really going to disagree with that point.
No,
I
totally get it.
I like
there's
that you
NXT
thought about
and then AEW, and like that's gonna change how people think about wrestling and how it's supposed to be.
I hope that WWE will actually have to start trying in the future, because I feel like the thing for the last like 20 years has been like WWE has this semi-captive audience of people who've just like grown up on it and don't know that other wrestling exists, I feel like. And I get the feeling that now, as like AEW and stuff like that is getting more popular, we're going to be in a similar position to like when WCW was coming up in the 90s, where like WWE is like, oh shit, we actually have to try.
Yeah.
Or at least I hope that's going to be the case.
Yeah, and I think there is a hint of that having happened before, specifically when AEW really started getting the ball rolling. We saw WWE pulling in a lot of part-timers like John Cena, The Rock, Ronda Rousey, other part-timers, started pulling them into WWE, like Brock Lesnar as well was a big one. Just to get maintain the focus on WWE. I think that was just like an initial knee-jerk reaction to it, and since they found the basically the regular numbers that AEW is throwing through, since AEW has their core fan base now and they just need to grow. At this point, I think WWE has kind of gone back to their complacency stage where they're just kind of like, okay, well, we panicked for a bit, but we're fine. And they probably will be fine. I don't think they have... I think it's going to be a long time until we see WWE really start worrying about AEW, especially considering that AEW isn't necessarily competing directly with WWE. Except for their NXT show, which is literally like it's WWE's like development show. Like that they kind of in a sense, like, I mean, Triple H cares about NXT, and it shows by how well built a lot of the wrestlers are in that production, especially Aleister Black. And then they all go to the big show, and then they all suck because the writing staff doesn't know what the fuck to do with them, despite the fact that Triple H knows.
Yeah, and this was before they went to the colorful quote relaunch of NXT 2.0, which was a fucking failure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what a way to shit on your greatest product that the company's made in decades.
Yeah, so it's like really, really dated, late 2010s, early, I guess early 2010s, like graphic design with like the rainbow shit. Like that's cool. Like 10 years ago.
It's cool when furries do it on the internet. It's not cool when a corporation does.
Yeah.
No werewolves if they're gonna make it cool.
Oh, okay. Here's an idea, and y'all can jump off of this. There's going to be a furry in the WWE or in AEW. There's going to be a furry professional wrestler who wrestles in some kind of fursuit built for wrestling or something like that. What's
the gobbledygooker?
Yeah. What species are they going to be?
A turkey.
Oh. I mean, it's got to be like.
Oh my god!
I was waiting for that.
There's already, yeah, it is already the gobbledygook already. Fucking damn it! Shit.
I mean
There's also that bunny suit a while back.
Even in like the 90s, they had Mantar.
Oh, okay.
And then now you have the guy with the flippy tongue thing on the indies. He's been on AEW before.
Oh wait! We already have one. I forgot. We totally already have one. Hang on, one sec. Oh my god, what's his fucking name? Holy shit.
Oh well, there is one in Britain, I think.
No, hang on. I'm gonna. Oh my god, it's on the tip of my tongue and it's gonna kill me.
I'm trying to think of there is like a straight like a furry wrestler. Is that who you're trying to think of?
Luchasaurus. There's your furry in wrestling.
That's scaly though.
That's still the
counts.
I would argue that's still under the furry category, given that furry is like a catch-all term for like scalies and like amphibians, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But that being said, let me rephrase my question then. We have seen, fursonas in wrestling. We've seen the gobbledygook. We've seen the Mantar. We've seen Luchasaur, or Luchasaurus. Who's next? What's the next species?
Like what happens when we get the first like Uwoon full-on notices your bulge, nuzzles your necky wecky ass persona in professional wrestling.
So I think what you're telling me here is that Fishman isn't a fish.
Wait, that's a thing too?
There's a fish guy?
Yeah. Did you not watch Triple H in the in the 90s?
I wasn't born.
I wasn't born in 92 or 93 either, but I watched those tapes.
Fair enough.
Well, Fishman does not have a fish face. He's got just a regular ass luchador mask on, so he doesn't.
Says you.
Says me, yes, because I am absolutely the authority on wrestling, the be all end all, 100%. But like, what is the next species that we see?
I feel like if we get like a full-on fursuit, it's got to be just like some manner of sparkle dog, right? Like if they're actually leaning into the dynamic, I feel like they're not gonna put like that much thought into it. It's just gonna be like a green dog.
I feel like if we were to egg Effie on to do it for the bit, he would.
Holy shit, wait a second. Fingers just linked something in the chat. There is already a professional wrestling furry straight on, like hardcore.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
That's what I thought you were trying to think of them for a second.
Like he's just straight up like full on uwu. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so
I do.
Ratty,
Right.
I
just
Rachel,
remembered.
Rachel, please get back soon. I really want you to play this on the screen. Oh my god, this is so fucking sick. Actually, straight up, like, actually. They actually look like a really good... They've got really good in-ring work, it seems. Like, very good at selling. Ooh, they take a shot on the chair. Okay, so I'm gonna share a tweet in front room. I need you to play that somewhere. Because those are highlights from a professional wrestler known as Nico-chan Punchy, or Mr. Cat. They are a
Who is like
professional
a
wrestler.
full-on like ooh notices your bulge furry.
Yeah, they are a full-on notices your bulge furry with a full-on fursuit and everything like that. And the music choice for that highlight clip they threw on there is fucking perfect, by the way. But there it is. There it is. Furries have penetrated professional wrestling 100% with their big bulges.
They've gone and done it.
But man, okay, Rachel, we have to have like Punchy on our fucking. We have to have them on Raturday night. We have to. Please, Rachel. Please, I'm begging you. Rachel, I'm withering. I'm withering away. Please say yes. Anyway, okay, so like. We're already there. I was gonna make a suggestion that Nonstop Pup be trained for professional wrestling and to do that. But I would imagine they would be apprehensive only in the sense that I feel like their fursuit is probably very expensive, and I don't think I feel like you'd be hard pressed to find a furry who'd be willing to risk breaking their fursuit in the wrestling ring or something like that. So what Punchy is doing as a furry who also professionally wrestles in their fursuit is like incredibly brave and is braver than the soldiers.
True.
And not to mention how hot those things get.
Oh, absolutely. Fucking like we're gonna have like the first wrestler who gets heat stroke mid match.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was gonna bring up is like how like that's kind of why I want Punchy on Raturday night is because like I really want to know like how fucking hard that is, how much cardio you have to do, and on top of that like how you even manage to like stay cool under that fursuit, like how I want to know what their
There's got to be like a
match
fan
is.
or something in there.
Actually, there is. I'm wondering. There is
something rudimentary.
There is in professional motorsports a undersuit that you can wear under your racing suit that has water hoses traveling.
Oh yeah.
Granted, they are usually connected to a water tank within the car, but I imagine those type of suits also have some kind of portable thing where it's just water like running through the hoses and you don't really need to hook it up to anything. I imagine that's probably what it could be, but you would also risk puncturing one of the hoses given what goes on in a wrestling match. So that'd be a really interesting conversation to have. But yeah, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask Ratty if we can have Punchy on Raturday night because that would be fucking gnarly. We managed to get, I think it was the last episode of Raturday night. We managed to get that one furry who was in fursuit at Starbucks Union Strikes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we managed to get. Oh, the name escapes me, and I'm so upset about it. 1 second, I have them in my DMs, so I'll have to go look through it. But we had them on the last episode, and it Apollo, and they were fantastic. It was a great episode because we talked a lot about organizing and like optics of using a fursuit to generate publicity for a workers' rights movement and stuff like that, as well as the politics within the furry community and whatnot. It was a really good talk. I would highly recommend watching the VOD on that. If you can. I think the VOD was uploaded to YouTube, so I'll probably post a link to that episode here in chat if anybody's interested in watching it later on. But getting back on track though, knowing now that they're well, I've had my question answered. I was like, where's the furry species? And apparently it's just a big cat. There it is. Just a big cat is who would do it. I posted the VOD for Apollo's Raturday night episode there. So Snail Puppy in chat, how did all of you meet, and how would you recommend finding friends in the community? As a very autistic and cringe dog, I do not know. Okay, so to be fair, Rachel organized this. I feel as though there are some hi, welcome back.
Is this a Rachel question?
Yeah, this might be a bit of a Rachel question here from Snail Puppy. Yeah. In chat.
Hey, you asked me if we can have Punchy on. Yeah. How do I do that? Do I do that right now, or that's another thing?
No. Later on, like a Raturday night episode.
Snail Puppy. I organized this by saying to all of Hoot's friends and some of my fans, do you want to talk about wrestling? And everyone was like, yes.
Where does that put me?
Oh yeah, you're my agent.
Yeah.
Best book of the year.
Thank you.
But to answer your question more directly, Snail Puppy, considering the fact that I don't think you are in a similar situation as we are, where we have already built like a community around us as content creators, I guess you could call us that if you're slimy and fucking gross. But ultimately, like I felt like there was a period in time in my life where I struggled to be able to find people and find friends in the community, because it was hard for me to understand like how I came across to other people. It was hard for me to be self-aware about that. And I always felt like I was annoying, or I was putting myself where I didn't belong, or I was constantly cringe. But I find that it's easier to find friends who care about you and who you care about by just not giving a shit. Mm-hmm. Granted, you want to be a nice person, like of course that's a given. But like, just stop giving a shit about embarrassing yourself. Just be you, and you know, you kind of. With that energy you put out in the world, eventually you find people who connect with that energy, and you'll find the friends eventually. It'll take time, but you know. Yeah.
I think one of the real things for me, like figuring out how to socialize in the past like 2 years-ish, is just like publicly be yourself, and people will find you at some point. Like a lot of like my friends have come from this like silly goofball show sponsored by the Ontario Arts Council,
which I find is so fucking awesome, by the way. It is
incredible. But yeah, just publicly be like, okay, I said as a joke like, oh, I asked a bunch of people if they wanted to talk about wrestling and they said yes, but like that's not a bad tactic. Whoops, sorry everyone.
Hey,
it's me.
Full screen, Brady.
I mean, yeah.
Just
I'll only touch on that for a second, but like that's how a lot of people's shows are. Like, just asking, like, "Hey, do you want to do this with me? I want to do this. Would you like to, like, do this with me?" And from your friends to fucking someone you've watched on YouTube for like a decade might just say yes.
Yeah. People are generally, like, I know it doesn't seem like it a lot of the time, but people are generally nicer than they seem. Do we have socials for everyone does everyone want to plug their socials? I don't know how do I allow people to put links in chat? If everyone wants to throw their links in chat, that's
I
allowed.
honestly have no idea.
Okay,
Sorry.
we'll do it, and then I'll just manually approve the messages, I guess.
Okay.
Also, sorry, I went away because my friends are watching. I wasn't even planning on being here tonight, and my friends are watching The Boys, and I was like, oh, I want to watch The Boys. So, you know, I've been in and out a little bit, but that's okay, because every other episode is a me episode, so I don't have to worry about it not being a me episode. But yeah. Is everyone doing their socials? Is that why it's quiet?
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You want that in the Discord or? Oh, okay.
In stream chat. I think links should be allowed for everyone because I'm not fussy about that kind of thing.
Yeah, I only block them on my chat because it's like a ton of bots showing up. Because I put in all the keywords.
Nice. Hell yeah.
But not always bots. It's maybe a bot every 5 months, but even then it's like I don't want that.
So, you don't need it at all. Like you'd rather have 0.
Yeah. Have actual users chatting and you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and there is a correction on that Hexen poster for the 48 Hours Film Fest that is going to be premiering on the 2nd of next month, where everyone kind of works this month a little here and there, maybe, if they don't tell me, though. But last weekend of this month, people are going to be making stuff on the list, and then I show it on the 2nd. And the correction is all of Meatbog is going to be on it, I guess.
Oh,
Dynastic messaged me earlier. They run Meatbog and with a lot of people. So that poster's only going to be updated a little bit because there's 10 people in Meatbog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, the Hexen October show, Halloween weekend. Right now we're looking at Momo, Retro Guy, IQ Wrestler, Lord of Graphics, Nick Spheres, Ident, myself, Breaking the Lizards. Well, actually, no, sorry, Tud. Breaking the Lizards is this month. And a movie, yes. The first Hexen original movie, Time Christ, an IRL, well, a instant replay live movie my friends made a few years ago, but it was in a different type of order. It was not cut all together into a 120-minute thing, and now it is. And I've been sitting on it for a little bit. I've been meaning to play out on Hexen for the past few months, but now it's like, okay, we got a date, we got a big show. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. So like, I gotta say this real quick. I think the show that had Nick Spears on, I might have missed, but I'm gonna be.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube?
Yeah,
Okay,
all
good.
of Hexen shows, like all of our sets, all of Friday Night Live on Hexen, which is pre-taped and edited by me. Like I'm the main editor for the whole channel, basically. But like, yeah, woo!
Yeah, that's really cool though, because I've been subscribed to Nick Spheres for ages now. I fucking love her channel, despite the fact that I am completely spooked by horror. I am like, you know, the Saw movies, can't do them. The Resident Evil movie, can't do them. I love them actually. That's a lie. I love the Resident Evil movies because I can do them because they're not scary. The Silent Hill movies, can't do them. I'm running out of things to say. And I think the reason why I can't handle horror shows or movies or anything like that is because of my experience watching Paranormal Activity. I was a teenager at the time, but I was also very easily spooked. I was like one of those kids who is like, you breathe on them too hard and they fall over.
Oh no.
So I went to the Paranormal Activity movie with my girlfriend at the time, and I had fucking nightmares for weeks afterwards about it, and I could not sleep without a light on. Like genuinely, I had to sleep with the light on. But yet, I watched Nick Spheres because like she breaks down like horror content that I cannot consume properly in a way that I can actually consume it, because like it's a genre of it's a genre of like fiction that I feel is very vital to our ability to creatively express ourselves, given that we all deal with horrors at the end of the day anyway, and they kind of just put them into real physical disgusting manner.
Yeah, there's
But, like,
a lot of stuff in
sorry,
store.
sorry,
with-
not to interrupt, but like I think I gotta go. My brain is making noises at me.
That's
I'm getting
totally
a
fair.
little-
We appreciate you being here, though. Appreciate you talking about wrestling with us and also not wrestling with us.
Yeah.
But it's time to throw you over the top rope. But before we do, throw down your socials. I believe you already have.
Yeah, I think
chat.
I put my Twitter in the chat. You can find more or less everything else I do through there.
Alrighty.
So
Yeah, thanks for joining us. But now it's time to, throw you over the top rope.
wait, what are you doing?
There they go.
And
What a
there
sell.
they are. There they go. So, as I was saying though, like Nick Spears, her content helps me like engage with horror content without actively experiencing it, which in a way is probably selfish because I watched her last video and she said like she's traumatized herself watching some of these videos, some of these horror films. And I have the pleasure of not having to do that because I watch her YouTube videos instead.
I feel like if I let her, she would probably talk about Genki Genki for like 2 hours.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool that you could get Nyx on with Hexen. Like, how?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff in store with like some of these guests. I mean, there already is with plenty of my previous guests. Like, Hexen World took place earlier this month, and that had like people from Australia and people from Austria and Australia. Yes, that's why I added the 2 times.
Both of them.
So, what my question is though is like, how did Nyx Spears get put on Hexen? Did you reach out to her, or did Molly reach out to you?
One night at 3 a.m., she was posting kind of like she was just posting funny stuff. I was like, "Hey, do you want to be on my show?" Like, actually, yeah, that sounds fucking cool.
Damn.
That's mostly how it happens because I just show them like any of the videos, any of the work that like I put my fucking ass on the line for, and yeah, it's starting to pay off after almost 3 years. Yeah,
that's fucking.
And not 3 years of Hex and 3 years of me doing these type of videos that
like
are very
these web shows kind of thing.
Well, yeah, and performance art in the means of like pre-recorded videos and mixing. There's not a name for it.
Yeah, there really isn't. I think oh my god. Hang on a second. There's got to be a word for it, and it's on the tip of my tongue too.
I mean, it's grassroots.
Yeah.
Like I've been going to like Effie's and Chris Here's streams on Twitch.
Yeah,
and like,
but I'm saying there's like a specific terminology for it that I've seen used.
URL
that
show.
Sounds very
sometimes
URL show. That's what it is. A URL show.
I kind of to differentiate myself from those other URL shows because like that's a very broad term.
Fair.
And like any Twitch stream, Hassan's Twitch stream could be a URL show because you go to a URL. But like a zine, a video zine, even though it's like, yeah, the people who know about URL shows are going to this show and kind of call it that, and that's fine, no biggie. But it does have there's a little bit more storytelling to it. Like there's journalism there, and like I'm telling a story, whether silent or just like, hey, let's sit down with these artists and hear what they have to say.
Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know. I just wanted to talk real quick about that because like Nyx Spears is like one of my favorite YouTubers of like all time.
Oh yeah. Like I've been a fan of her and IQ Wrestler, and like for like as soon as I saw, well, it was like the Dark Side of the Ring episode on Bruiser Brody. To bring it back, like I saw that and then just fell in love with like this character, and I saw like her music video that had Supernaut by Black Sabbath over Bruiser Brody, and there's a fucking energy to it Like there's a soul to that video, and it stuck with me. And I also really like her WCCW video. I found it recently, but like, yeah, and I've just admired them for so long, and it's really cool to be like, hey, sometimes it takes weeks for someone to be like, all right, yeah, this sounds cool. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, or immediately, people are busy sometimes, they're different time zones. And then like Lord of Graphics, like Momo one, that's a whole nother thing where it's like, I love that person. I've hung out with that person in like chats, and we've goofed off, and it's like, cool, I can finally like show this people to the other people. But like Lord of Graphics, they made a asset pack that like tons of people use in my realm. And so I just reached out, and today, like before I hopped in, I was making we were making that happen.
That's fucking cool as hell. Hell yeah. Like organizing these type of shows is fucking gnarly. But like
people just want to like
go ahead.
Be seen most of the time and felt seen, but not perceived in a
Yeah, true. But let's get back on track here. I want to ask everybody's like first like memory of wrestling. Because for a lot of us, like watching wrestling these days is almost like like a nostalgic kind of thing in some senses, but it's also got like that fresh new flavor. Especially if you're watching AEW, it's almost like you're a kid again because it's exciting to watch. And there's new shit that makes it easier for you to suspend your disbelief, like it was when you were a kid and you were stupid. For me personally, I think like not necessarily my first memory, but probably the memory that I remember the most was, I think it was a match on WWF Raw. I think it was Monday Night Raw, and it was Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy in a ladder match against Edge and Christian, but I can't remember if that was what it was or if it was something else, because it happened on a Monday Night Raw. But I remember watching it with my cousin. I hadn't really seen much wrestling before, but I really liked Jeff and Matt because they looked really cool, really edgy. They had like glow, like that was a time where they were like drenching themselves in like glow stick fluid, and then they had the black lights, so they lit up and glowed and everything. And they wore really cool clothing with like the fucking fish netting all over the place and all that other shit. And I was like, I want to be like that.
I have to go. My wife is calling me. She hurt her head at work today, so yeah.
Okay, so you're
going? I'll just give a quick thing. So when I was a kid, I saw Rey Mysterio like jump off a ladder once, and I just kind of like, oh, that's cool, but yeah. And then it was Chris Benoit. And then give a few years, and then NXT was on before it went on USA, like before the TV deal now, but when it was like black background at my bar, and then like my local bar, even though I only went there like maybe once or twice a month, and I just kind of like got more into it. But yeah. And now I'm just like a big wrestling nerd.
Yeah.
Anyways, bye everyone.
Smart. Have a good one.
See you.
Yeah. So, that was really cool. Yeah. For me personally, to continue my story, it was a Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy match. It was a Hardy Boys match. I can't remember who against, but I remember that the Hardy Boys lost, and I started crying because I was like, I wanted them to win so bad. And my cousin had to tell me, no, you don't understand. It's okay. They're gonna be fine. They're not dead. They're gonna be able to wrestle again. They'll be back next week. And I was like, but they lost. And I was like so unconsolable about it. Like I just really wanted them to win so bad. And that's like the most vivid memory of wrestling that I have. Really in my past. And it's also the earliest one. The only other memory that I have from that time period was when I visited my cousin in BC, and SmackDown was running a house show there. It was a dark match, like a dark show or whatever you want to call it. Oh shit, who was it? I think it was. Oh, it might not have been a dark match because they had the cage there. And they had a cage match between, I think it was John Cena and somebody else. But it's very hard to remember that because I was way up in the fucking nosebleeds, way up in the bleachers, so I couldn't see anything. So let's go up the list with you, Paula. What's your favorite memory of wrestling?
I mean, I've had quite a few good ones. Like, I recently just been watching more AEW pay-per-views with with the group that we usually hang out with, and with another that we just bond over, that sort of thing. But the most vivid one that I remember is like my dad was really into like very early days of WWE or WWF, I should say, that had like the more colorful characters on screen. Like he does remember like Undertaker, Bret Hart, Bam Bam Bigelow, Yokozuna, so many of those like older wrestlers back in the day. So that was kind of like his thing. But I did just taking him to a house show was actually really fun, and like that was the only time I saw WWE like live. And I think one of my favorite matches was actually was it Vaudevillains against the New Day, because the New Day keep love to do their like very colorful shtick with the cereal box and all that. So
yes.
Man, the Vaudevillains pulled a memory out of me. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a core memory, but it's certainly a memory. I remember them. They exist.
Yeah.
And that was right about the time where I was starting to get really disillusioned with WWE, though. So I looked at them and I was like, this is stupid. This is dumb. Dumb gimmick, bad dumb. But looking back at it now, I'm kind of like, no, that was actually pretty sick, though. Pretty sick gimmick.
Yeah. So like that was one memory, just watching that house show. But then also like when I was visiting a friend in Boston and we went to Athlone, England for the weekend with my ex back in the day. So we were organizing a pay-per-view watch along with a bunch of friends. So we ended up like staying over with the people that we were sleeping with for the con.
Yeah.
And we saw there was also the Royal Rumble that weekend.
Ooh.
And that was the 2016 version when they had the winner of the match was going to be the title holder of the WWE Championship, because Vince McMahon wanted to put some stipulations on it and Roman Reigns had to start from number 1 and had to defend that title. So there were a couple other matches in there, and like I kind of wanted Kevin Owens to win because like he was my favorite back then, and I mean he still is from time to time, but I haven't paid too much attention to WWE lately. Because I mean I'm busy and AEW is just the better product right now. So so I had my favorite going in, but I think was it once Roman Reigns was still there, number 30 hit. That's when Triple H showed up, and that was pretty vivid because like I remember watching Triple H on YouTube and like, oh, such a cool guy, such a cool theme, and it was actually happening right in front of my eyes. So it's just like, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
So like that was definitely something really cool to witness.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hell yeah, I could imagine. That was one thing that I actually remember now of having seen that house show in BC, was when John Cena's theme hit. He was still over, so like everybody just launched into a huge cheer because like the horns coming on, and then the and then just like the fucking roof on the house comes off. It's just like, it's like watching wrestling in person is a completely different experience, even from the nosebleeds, compared to watching it on TV. Because when you're watching it in the ring, it's a lot harder to see the wrestlers showing light or basically just whiffing on their moves. So it's a lot harder to see them whiffing on that because there's no TV angles or instant replays and shit. It's just like, it's easy to get involved with it. So how about you, Jimmy? What's your earliest, or rather your best, wrestling memory?
To be honest, I don't really have many because we don't really have it over here. Yeah, because Australia. We're Australia. We live in a rock in the middle of the freaking ocean.
Well, no. See, here's what confuses me. You guys have burnout competitions. You guys have a thriving auto scene, and what you're telling me is you've paid for it by giving up wrestling. That's unfortunate. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's notable that's been over here, at least WWE related, was when the Super Showdown or something came to Australia, right before the pandemic hit. I was contemplating on going, but I thought, nah, it's too much of a geek thing. I'm not really into that. Yeah, I guess the most noticeable memory was CM Punk's pipe bomb. I think that was probably the earliest memory that I have of it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good memory to have.
Yeah, and then I just sort of, I did latch on a little bit, but then it's sort of, you kind of know how the story turned out with it.
Yeah.
And it just,
wrestling is one of those things where, because it's a weekly thing, you have to constantly be watching. Like every week you have to watch, or else you're missing out on something. And that can burn a lot of people out. I know I burn out all the time on wrestling because I'm just watching Dynamite and Rampage every week. And then Wednesday rolls around and it's just like, oh, do I have to watch Rampage? No, I'm not going to. And then Friday rolls around, do I have to what? No. It's just kind of like, it turns into a chore almost, and it's just like, no, man, like I just want to watch big sweaty men grappling each other.
Yeah, a lot of my consumption of pro wrestling is through YouTube. Although recently I have started doing the watch-alongs of Dynamite and Impact. No, what is it?
Dynamite and Rampage.
I have been starting to watch that a little bit, but mainly because there's like watch-along sessions. And I don't have to pay for it. So
yeah.
That's about it.
But like, I will say this, since Paula mentioned live shows, as did you. I will remember that, like, the WWE SmackDown house show, the dark matches, are the big promotion that I remember watching and going to as a kid. But I've also gone to indie shows. Specifically, while I was living in BC, my cousin was training to be a wrestler. I helped in some cases, mostly as there was a specific type of bump that she had to do where I would be on my hands and knees, like with some space, where my cousin would then kind of flip over me and then like wrap her arms from my hip under to like under my belly, and then
Jesus
would flip on her back. It wasn't really a significantly challenging bump, but like it was really cool that I was like, oh, I got to help my cousin train to be a wrestler. Ooh. But the promotion she was training with was called Big West Wrestling. And I remember that very vividly because I remember at their venue in a bowling alley. I was really excited about it. You know, I walked in with my cousin. So I think automatically, when they saw me walk in with my cousin next to me, they were like, "Found the mark," because my cousin's a wrestler. So I was wearing a floral pattern hat at the time, and I was sitting front row. So I had a very flashy hat, and I was sitting in the front row. Every single heel did something with my hat. They took my hat, they wore it. They tried to fit it on their head, it wouldn't fit, they'd throw it back at me. They'd take my hat, they'd wear it, and they'd trot around the room looking all stupid and shit, like mocking me, and then they'd throw the hat back at me. There was one who flipped their finger up on the bill of the cap and then flung it off my head. It was a fucking great show because I just kept getting fucking buried by the heels.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And bringing that up, like, I apologize for derailing. We'll get to you, Fingers and Bath, with your answers to the question, but I think like there was recently this Twitter post where a wrestler. Oh, what happened? I think one of the audience members got into the front row and started shit talking the wrestler. And then the wrestler spat on him. So the audience member then starts to actually want to fight him. And I'm just sat here like, what the fuck are you doing? You're at a wrestling show. Settle down, sit down, and watch the fucking show. I don't get it, man. Why do you think this is real? It's a work, buddy. Kayfabe's been dead for decades. Like, and that's why I'm saying like that crowd interaction is so important, is because like that was genuinely the best night of wrestling I'd ever seen in live, and I'd gone to a WWE show, granted in the nosebleeds, but also when I went to the indie show, I constantly got messed with by the heels, and I loved every fucking second of it. It was cool. Fuck it. Like, take my hat and like don't break it, but just throw it around a bit. Like, make me look stupid. I don't care. You know?
Nice.
So heading over to you, Fingers, what would your favorite or earliest wrestling moment be?
I'll go with a favorite. Fairly recent. When I don't know how familiar everyone here is with Lucha Underground, but
I gotta admit, I'm bad at smart mark. I'm a bad smart mark. I don't really follow anything that isn't AEW.
Okay. Like I said, this was a few years back when that was big. This was what, 2014, 15, I want to say. But when they were, this is season 1 of Lucha Underground, they were introducing all of the new belts and everything, and they held this tournament for the trios championship that they had. And if you've ever seen, the way that ends is through that spot where Angelico jumps off of like the canopy of the building.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember my cousin showing me that, like, because I was starting to get into wrestling, and she was like, "Okay, you've seen WWE, but you haven't seen wrestling." And then she showed me that as part of my homework to get caught up on what wrestling actually is.
Yeah. So
how
not
big
only...
of a gap do you think that would have been? Like,
it was pretty far. Yeah, he had to get a running start for it, so it could have been like, it looks a lot, through the angles or whatever, but like it looked pretty far.
May you shut up? You don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, that's a pretty good one. That was a pretty sick spot.
But not just the spot, because it was the whole story leading up to that. How that match became is they won the tournament, but then Dario Cueto comes out and says, actually, there's one more match. And then, after a grueling match where, what was her name? Ivelisse, I think, was like, nursing a leg, a work leg injury. And it's like, oh, they're all torn apart, and then they have to fight a fresh team coming out.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And like the tournament was like, you know, a multi-episode arc through like all these teams. You know, they were a ragtag bunch. They were like established teams, and it introduced me to the idea of the lucha style tag match, where if someone gets out of the ring, a partner just jumps in, and it just makes the flow so much better.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
it's a fun style of wrestling that you didn't really see a lot of at the time. I know there a lot of promotions are doing trios now, but just that, like all of the different characters, all of the different dynamics that you had, it was just a really fun tournament that I just recommend to anyone who likes tag team wrestling.
Hell yeah. I think tag team wrestling kind of gets a bad rap for being like the intermission match, considering the fact that tag team matches is where every wrestler can throw their best shit into the ring without like gassing themselves too hard because they got another partner they can rely on. So they often get a bad rap for being like, you know, like throwaway matches or matches that you don't need to watch, but often you'd be surprised, especially with tag team, especially with tag teams like FTR, you know, being as good as they are, especially when they put on 2 5-star matches in a week. One of them was on Ring of Honor. I can't remember who their partners were, but it was a fan-fucking-tastic match. And then after that Ring of Honor show, the Young Bucks comes in and they're like, okay, on Rampage we're wrestling and we're gonna beat you fuckers up. And FTR is like, fuck you guys. So then Rampage comes around, and FTR and the Young Bucks have one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. And I don't really care about their in-ring work. I don't care about what happened, the in-ring psychology. The only reason it's the best wrestling match I've ever seen is because FTR both kiss, I think, Matt Jackson on the cheek and then give him a V trigger of some kind. And then it's just like, that's perfect. That's wrestling, baby. Make wrestling gayer. So Beth, what was your wrestling memory, earliest, favorite, whichever?
So I don't know if this is my earliest or my favorite, but it's just the one that I can think of. So setting the scene, this is my grandparents' house I'm at, and it's one of those like small homes that's got like a little den that's the living room basically, where you take a couple steps down into it. And so I think it's 2008 because the elections for the Obama's eventual presidency was going on. And I just remember seeing that going on and being like, huh, this politics, okay. And eventually it all shut down and I sat down, and then I'm assuming it was probably WWE. I don't remember any of the details, but it definitely started up and someone's entrance music was going. I was like, holy shit, this is kind of cool. And that's kind of the extent of my memory. That's the most I remember.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting that that's a memory that you have. It's just kind of like the general malaise of like the late 2010s and the political spectrum suddenly starting to shift like to an extreme level. And then it's just like, man, this sucks. Ooh, wrestling. That's cool. And then that's it. That's really cool. So like, you know, I did bring it up earlier, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about it and gather your guys' opinions. I'm not sure if any of you may have seen it, but I wanted to talk about FTR and get your guys' opinion on them because, like, over the past month, like, they got themselves over hard by having literally 2 of the best matches I've ever seen. So, how do y'all feel about them if you've been following them?
About FTR.
FTR, yeah.
Best tag team.
Yeah. Of course.
And the stuff that I've been seeing on Twitter with them with CM Punk, like, I just want that to be a faction now.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Toby's here.
Actually, there's another thing I wanted. I'm gonna change the topic real quick because there's something else I wanted.
Can I change the topic real quick?
Yes, you can.
And my bunny Toby is here. Everyone say hi.
Toby.
Hey, Toby.
Toby!
He says hello back. He says beep beep beep.
You gotta love Toby. Toby's great.
He says squeak.
Toby's awesome.
He says
Throw him in the cage, lovingly.
I'm not gonna throw him anywhere. He can't fly.
This one, I mean.
Oh, I see. Yes, I can do that.
Toby would win though.
That's the thing. He can go for hours. Don't be gross. Here's Toby.
What I wanted to talk about though, real quick is, over the past few years, I've always felt like there is a certain lack of diversity in professional wrestling, specifically with the queer professional wrestlers. Because I know there's a shitload of queer wrestlers out there, and it doesn't seem like any of them are rising to the top for one reason or another. And it's incredibly frustrating for me personally because I want to see people who are like me on screen fucking nailing shit and just being like really good wrestlers. James Stephanie Sterling being one of them, being an openly queer
I thought
wrestler.
James Stephanie Sterling was like a video game reviewer.
And she also trained to be a wrestler, and she now wrestles, and she is wrestling in the UK as part of a queer wrestling show, all queer wrestling show.
That's so cool.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Toby, did you hear that?
She is known as Stardust, like Stardust, but like Sterling. Sterling.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, James Stephanie Sterling does wrestling. And Sunny Kiss is doing wrestling with AEW, even though she hasn't been on TV in ages. And then you have Nyla Rose, I think her name is.
Yeah, Nyla Rose.
Yeah, Nyla Rose, another one, notable queer professional wrestler. There is also another one that I actually personally met who was training to be a wrestler in the very grassroots indie scene along with my cousin. And she was actually pretty good. But she eventually left the scene because guess what? A bunch of fucking boys club motherfuckers came in and started being a bunch of fucking pricks and chased her out of the scene. And what I'm getting at here is just like I want to see extra queer representation in wrestling shows to challenge that fucking boys club that exists so prominently in most promotions, where it's like, you know, like the boys run the show, the women are there for eye candy, and that's it. It's like, I'm sorry.
Ugh.
I'm very sorry, but we are not living in the 50s anymore. This is 2020 now, in 2022. Grow up or die. One of those two, you know?
Yeah.
But like,
oh, y'all have been going at this for 3 hours.
Yeah, my brain is starting to hurt.
God.
I'm losing topics to try and talk about.
This is such a challenge to like put up a show for like 3 hours anyway. Like,
Yeah.
Well, you were
Especially
already streaming beforehand as well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also like, consider the fact that my live streams usually last about an hour and a half to 2 hours, because that's all I can handle until I start getting headaches. And I'm on my 3rd hour now, and my brain is like, stop. But I'm hosting the show.
I mean, that's how Cage Match do. That's the point.
Yeah, that's how Cage Match be. I will be here until I die.
Yeah.
But not until all the cishet dies first. The wrestlers die first. But except
press close line.
But back on topic though, like, it's really frustrating because a few years ago there was this movement within the wider wrestling community, specifically the professional wrestlers, where they were starting to come out with stories of sexual abuse and harassment from other wrestlers. Wrestlers who were manipulating people, abusing people, and shit like that. And that just fucking... at that point, I was already starting to lose touch with wrestling for that period. And watching that all happen, I was just like, man, I can't give a shit anymore. because the wrestlers that I really liked at that time, the indie wrestlers that I really liked at that time, all ended up being people who were incredibly fucking sus. One of them being Villain Club, the guy with the bird mask kind of thing going on.
Oh,
oh god,
Marty Skrull.
Marty Skrull was one of them. I really liked him. He turned out to be a fucking sex pest. Jimmy Havoc, loved him, loved his entrance, loved his whole shtick where he's like tiny like I am, but he takes a huge fucking beating. He was also turning out to be a sex pest, so that was done. And at that point, I was like, this whole fucking industry is just poison from the top down. There's nothing. Why should I watch this product when it's poison from the top down? And I kind of stopped watching. And it's really depressing because in some aspects, some promotions have changed. In others, other promotions have not. Specifically in the indie grassroots scene, a lot of promotions are speaking big game about being inclusive, being safe places for people, and then all of a sudden you get into the locker room and fucking the dudes are throwing their dicks around like they're a bunch of fucking numbskulls. And just it's just not, it fucking sucks, man. It sucks, man.
That sucks.
Yeah. And the main reason I wanted to bring that up is because, like, you know, there's people that I care about who are affected by that. And it's like, it's one of those things where with wrestling, there is so much good that can come from it. So much good that can come out of it. And then you just kind of get this situation where, you know, it all gets tarnished by this group of fucking idiots who can't shut their goddamn mouths and keep it in their pants, you know what I mean? Oh, yes, I would like an intermission ready, please. Please, my brain hurt. Please.
I'm surprised we haven't done this sooner.
Rachel! Rachel, I need you to tag me in. Or the other way around, I need to tag you in.
I don't think there's tagging in a cage match.
It is what it is. I make up
yelling?
the rules. Please let
Your girlfriend is yelling at you.
Why?
Intermission, please. My brain hurts.
Okay, we're gonna go to intermission.
Thank you. Okay, I'll be right.
Okay. That's fine.
by decision
Yeah,
because
so we're back.
I'm
Sorry.
out. Yeah.
We gotta just clarify. The athletes have come to a consensus. We're going to have a victory by decision, and there will be a poll in chat starting now, but we'll also be doing our tarot card reading, our standard tarot card reading, to close out the show.
Look at this!
Thank
This
you.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Little dancing Murphs.
I forgot to clean up, so it's just whatever.
By the way, I am not entirely sure if they are in chat right now. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna take a look through the viewer list to see if they are.
Who is?
There is somebody, a close friend of mine, who wanted to come into the show, but it was going to be happening either too late or too early. They were in the UK. I don't think I see them in the viewer list. That's fine. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out to them because they've been posting enough about wrestling for me to be able to be like up to date while I'm kind of taking a break from watching every week. Let me see if I can find their public accounts. I need to try and find it. Give me a second. I'm gonna find it. It will be around here somewhere.
That was more than a second. You could have to wrap things up now.
Sorry, I'm trying to be as quick as possible, but it's really important that I give them a shout out because they've also started training to become a wrestler. Not necessarily to become a wrestler, but because they're dealing with dealing with stuff. And they're just training at a gym that also trains wrestlers just to like get into shape and like get themselves active and stuff. And it's really cool, and I want to support that. They also do art and stuff like that.
Nice.
Really cool stuff. I'm going so far back in their Twitter account to try and find it. It's been, man, they haven't quote retweeted their own account in a while. Fuck it. It's whatever. I'll keep looking for it while we're doing the streamy thing. Rachel, for some reason your webcam isn't showing for me properly, your studio webcam or whatever.
Oh yeah. All right, let me try restarting it.
Yeah.
Can you see now?
No, hold on. Let me disconnect and then reconnect.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there goes Hoot. Here's Hoot.
There we go. There. Now I see it.
All right, perfect.
Thing. Anyway, let's get on with this tarot card reading. While I try and find this account. All
right.
So, you're ready, Rachel. You can stop the cards.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
I love that. How it's just like it's a roulette and it.
Yeah. So what we have here is the Seven of Swords, the Page of Cups.
Oh, dude, sorry. I had this. I had it'd be so cool to have a tarot card slot machine. We gotta figure out how to do that. Holy moly! All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue. I love you.
Make it happen. So let's begin from the left here. In the past is the Seven of Swords. The swords are a suit of action, and what we see is an individual trying to carry swords. A lot of them. Excuse me. But the thing is with those swords is that they're really heavy. So what this card means is that in our past we've held a big burden, whether it's our own burdens that we're carrying with us or whether we've tried to carry other people's burdens. And the man in the Seven of Swords is looking back at the two swords he's leaving behind. So it feels like while we're focusing on trying to carry our own burdens or trying to help other people with theirs, we're forgetting some things and leaving them behind. In our present, we have the Page of Cups. The cups usually represent a spiritual fulfillment. The Page of Cups looks like somebody who, this will be what we wish we could be, but because we've burdened ourselves in the past, we feel like we're not entirely reaching that spiritual fulfillment that we really want because we're draining ourselves from holding so much of a burden. And in the Empress card, we see like this really royal looking woman in the middle of a forest, not really in a kingdom or like in a castle or anything, just out in the woods. So what this card is telling us is to touch grass. No. No, but this card is telling us that, you know, it would be good and healthy to get a breath of fresh air. In the sense that we're just constantly pushing ourselves hard to be the best people we can be, and that's a good thing to do. But there are limits for everybody. You know, all we can really do is our best, and pushing beyond our best is we can only hold that up for so long until we start falling apart at the seams. And when you fall apart at the seams, you're gonna have to have somebody who can carry your burdens for you. And that's a fine thing, but pushing yourself often is going to push yourself beyond the ability to, you know, it's just gonna burn you out, and you're not gonna be able to do much. So what I would strongly recommend for those of you in chat is to slow yourself down, get a breath of fresh air, and take a breather. You know, being a good person is hard work, but at the end of the day, this is hard work that we need to be able to take breaks from so we can continue to do hard work in the future. So, you know, yeah, everybody just like slow down a peg, you know? Just kind of coast down the hill instead of like trying to full barrel speed through it. You know, we'll get there at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I'm trying so hard to find this Twitter account. I can't fucking find it for the life of me. Please end me. But yeah, there was. Nah, you're good. Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like I had a bit of a home crowd advantage given I was wearing a Darby Allin cosplay.
But also the fact that you were talking the most.
Well,
She's been carrying the show like MJF carries AEW.
True, but also not true because everybody on this show is fantastic. It was,
of course,
you know, it was great having you all to talk on this little wrestling talk show. I kind of a bad job of me to be doing most of the talking, but I had words. You know, I had words. I spoke words,
and I loved listening to those words.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is another really cool episode of Raturday Night Cage Match, and I'm glad to have hosted it. But yeah, I feel like wearing the Darby Allin costume got me some cheap pops to get me over. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sorry I've jobbed you out, but you know, it is what it is. But anyways, yeah. So I guess to finish this out, ready? You go on ahead.
My mic was muted that whole time. Then we have the charity. We have this. Stick around for the raid. Da 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 da. Who cares? This art by fucking Fingers. Oh God, where'd it go? Fingers made this cool art of the stream. Sorry, I was muted the whole time. Stick around for the raid. Bye. That's embarrassing. I forgot I was fucking muted. Whoops.